that? Just sell? Oh my, what's the matter, master? Are you just standing in place? There's nothing there. May didn't seem to have seen anything. Made to ask her about the scene you had just witnessed. Sure, you look like you've seen a ghost. No matter. Put a bit of rest before we move on. You do not wish to remain here? Still not fond of mirrors. I too dearly wish for you to return to your old self as soon as possible, man. Your desires to push onwards, I could hardly be happy. Now follow me. Follow the maid's lead, returning to the living room. From there you climb a set of stairs, your hands sliding through the dust that settled on the ebony railing. When you stepped out of sight of the mirror, the maid returned to normal. You'd been on the verge of remembering something, but you were no longer in a position to be concerned about such things. The chill in the air within the mansion seemed to have intensified. Standing at the end of a long corridor, you ask the maid, when was the mansion built? I'd imagine you know more about that than me. Yes, I know. Not yet regained your memory. I was simply teasing you. I've been the servant of this house for many, many years, but the truth is, all I know is the mansion is cursed and brought misfortune upon its residents. I can make a conjecture when it began. But I believe you should figure it out for yourself. No guarantee my perspective is. Now let us proceed. And the maid travel down the dimly lit corridor. Well, the layout of the house was the same as the eras, the flaxen-haired boy and the beast. The bleak, colorless gloom felt incredibly dreary. On the wall partway down a hall hung a painting. The painting, which depicted a beautiful landscape, was oddly entrancing, but you didn't have time to appreciate the artwork. Your hand in the maid's, you passed by the painting. Before long, a door came into sight at the end of the hall. This door is what I would like to show you next, man. Closely. Do you hear the voices? Lively but rough, eccentric but coarse. What lies beyond this door is neither a period of elegance and abundance like the or one of ruin or savagery. Technology and culture had become quite developed. Cameras and photography had been a time of great progress and many breakthroughs. For that reason, those who lived in it were constantly seeking to try new things. The tale I'm about to tell you is of a man who wagered everything on his ambitions. I hope that what you see, Master, will stir something in your heart. Now through the door we go. Please do not let go of my hand. Maid pushed open the door, and colorful balls danced around atop a long, dark green table. One man dressed in black and standing by the billiards table turned towards the door. The room was inundated with eye-watering cigar smoke, causing you to squeeze your eyes shut. Oh, all that smoke. Door number 3. 1869. I was going to guess 1850. That's pretty close. She was pitching something that was too far forward to be 1800, so I was thinking 1850. That is close, but I should have said it early. The era was a rat race of invention, innovation, and development. Smoke was so thick you could hardly see more than a few feet ahead of you. I could compare it to a dense morning fog, but that might give the impression of beauty, and there was little of that to be found in this haze. You see the silhouettes of several men in the smoky room, the one in the middle? The one looking in your direction, Master, was the present master of this house. Do you see anyone? I do not. Jacopo. Okay. His name was Jacopo. And though he dressed in such fine attire, I sincerely doubt he understood how splendid the furnishings left in the mansion truly were. I'm a faithful servant to this house and would not, for the life of me, dare speak ill of my master. However, this is a time long past. I imagine God would be so kind as to turn a blind eye to a little bit of honesty. I was not terribly fond of my master back then. He had wavy hair the color of over-dried tea leaves, a piercing gaze, an arrogant smile, and he wore a hat that made him look rather haughty. He put his trust only in money, renown, and rank. He loved only the iron and steel that had revolutionized so many entities. He had not the slightest bit of love or care for others. At the very least, that's what I believed at the time. Take a look around the room, Master. Master Jacopo had remodeled it into a recreation area. A billiards table sat in the center of the room, and the downward-facing lights hanging from the ceiling were special made. The lights shone on the dark green stand like a stage, cigars and bourbon-lined glasses. Cigars and bourbon-lined glass cases installed in place of bookshelves. The cases were always fully stocked, their contents available to partake of readily. At that particular moment, as he had many times before, Jacopo had invited several friends and acquaintances. They were entertaining themselves. His wealthy, high-ranking acquaintances had a variety of hair colors, from polished brass to the brown of a baby robin to the color of sunburnt wheat. There was also much greater variation in skin tone compared to the visitors and residents of previous eras. That was hardly any surprise for the mansion, set upon land inhabited largely by immigrants of the New World. The mansion does relocate itself. The mansion was in the first arc, within walking distance of a town, within walking distance of a moderately large town, or at least something that could be managed by like middle class nobility, and was also extremely close to the Globe Theatre in Britain, in London, England. Close enough that a day trip to it was feasible. I.e., like, you could take a carriage, go see a play, and then take a carriage back home and be there in the same day. In the second story, it was dubious whether it was in the same location, as it seemed to be really far from the nearest village, and quite a journey. And then it was a no-name village that didn't seem to be of any prominence, and certainly not within like easy travel distance of London. But you know, I kind of like brushed over that. This time they explicitly stated that it's moved to the New World, apparently. No matter what you're looking at. Nothing. I thought I heard someone say my name. Ain't no one there unless you be seeing a ghost. I don't believe such nonsense. An old house with a long history. I wouldn't be surprised if it had a ghost or two. The place is gonna be haunted. I take a princess over a bloody broad any day. Princess, eh? When she showed up, you'd have your way with this ghost lady, am I right? Color me impressed, son. You jump her bones, and she don't even need to jump. Oh, come on, that's hardly fair. How much you can even do with a ghost? My God, are you men or children? This is my house, and I'd rather you not talk about it like that. Oh, just the blathering of a couple of drunks. Pretend you didn't hear none. For the love of God. In any event, whatever happened to that printer you invested in? I haven't heard their name come up in some time. Can we avoid that topic? It's been quite the headache for me. I thought it had paid off, but well, it always sounded sketchy to me. I'd recommend you pull out unless you want to find yourself with nothing left but a nice fat pile of debt. Could have mentioned that beforehand. Oh, it's killing me. Men's deep voices resonated in the cloudy room. As they imbibed alcohol and puffed on their cigars, they conversed mostly about business and money. Jacopo and the rest of the men were a breed known as investors. You might call them magicians. They survived on information attained before anyone else by making swift decisions and having foresight. Though instead of flesh and bone, their soldiers were made of ink and paper. An outsider, this meeting might appear to be a congregation of friends, but in reality, they were observing one another, gathering information, anything else they could use to get ahead. At times, money and information were exchanged directly. When they were no longer of financial value to one another, the relationship would pop like a bubble and dissipate into nothing. But you know, Jacopo, you can't be sure this railroad you're so passionate about is going to bear fruit, neither. You don't even know if it'll get finished. Even if they do connect the tracks. Will it really be in any shape for people to ride? A pipe dream, this transcontinental railway of yours. Jacopo went silent, but I'm certain this is what's going through his head. A bunch of damned imbeciles who can't see the entire country put their weight behind this endeavor. Why you have so much trouble making even a few thousand. At the time, a great railway was being built across the breadth of the continent. Construction was spearheaded by two large rail companies in competition for both prestige and a bigger share of this massive national enterprise. Union Pacific Railway Company had started building from the east, and the Central Pacific Company from the west. But government bonds alone were not enough to finance the massive undertaking. By the way, there have been some less than pleasant reports about workers dying on the job for the company you chose. Central Pacific was it? Oh, you mean how they're using explosives to blast through the mountains? Making quite a bang, they are. If it gets to be a much bigger fix, they're not going to be able to continue construction. You should at least put your money in the more sure bet of the two, Union Pacific. It'll cost you to hire replacement workers. If they keep kicking the bucket, you're going to have trouble finding more. Oh my goodness. Here I thought you all had spines. You think we're going to run out of workers because a few ate it? There's so many we don't even know what to do with them all. There's not a chance that well will dry up. If by some chance it does, all we have to do is scoop up a ship full of blacks or yellows. Nice and easy. Won't get anywhere if you spend your time worrying about a few measly laborers. This is an endeavor backed by the entire nation. Their deaths are honorable in service of their country. The biggest loss is not of people's lives, but of time. The longer a project takes, the more money it costs, the less profit we make. What we seek is rapid progress, even if the methods to obtain it are messy or deadly. The other men in the room chuckled uncomfortably at Jacopo's distasteful choice of words. Do you agree with his way of thinking? He's profit-oriented. And it will probably pay off, so I guess from that perspective of making money, that's how it goes. That's how people make money these days too, right? That's just how companies operate, so I suppose in that case, in that sense, he's correct. He is likely to turn a profit and live a very happy life, making shit tons of money. That said, the mansion is supposed to be cursed, so his life might end poorly. But again, if the mansion is cursed, his decision-making, good or bad, may or may not have anything to do with his bad ending, right? Perhaps he does have a point that in that great sacrifice is necessary to accomplish great things. We could also ask the more interesting question, which is, was the mansion actually cursed? The maid claims the mansion is cursed, but the killer guy was a killer before he came to the mansion. He loved killing people before he went to the mansion. And he was intentionally killing people. It wasn't a coincidence before the mansion. So, yeah, like what part of his ending was bad? He more or less got what he wanted, right? He wished the mansion to send him more people to kill. They sent him a literal mountain of people. He killed all of them. And then left killing more, and then happily lived out his days doing whatever he wanted. I mean, it seems like a good ending for him. If he had died, maybe if he died from the mob, maybe it'd be like a bad ending. But it seems like a good ending for him. I figured he was probably gonna kill her sooner or later if she stuck around. So, like, I'm not losing anything there. Great. So it is true that tragedy often lies in the shadows of splendor, times long past. Furthermore, the way people see the world changes with times. I hesitate to criticize them too severely. I mean, I think it's unethical. I'm just saying it's probably going to be successful anyway, so. As I'm sure you've already picked up on, he was an investor who put a lot of money in a railroad company. He also possessed several crude oil refineries rotting on the world's second wave of industrial development. This guy's going to be a multi-billionaire. He's going to be rich beyond his wildest dreams. The mansion was too bustled with life. In a way it never had before. Dozens of maids, including me, gardeners, chefs, sculptors, artists. At times we even had writers coming in and out of the home. There was rarely a moment of silence. However, I was not fond of the hustle and bustle personally. Why not? Please do not get me wrong, I'm hardly opposed to the mansion being cheerful. It was just, how do I put it? The splendor of the time seemed superficial and heartless. It was as though everyone was being rushed along by some unknown invisible force. Welcome to the 21st century, maid. Part of it, I expect, was caused by the growing divide between those standing at the top and sitting at the bottom. Deja vu. Welcome to the 21st century, lady. Or perhaps the mansion was simply taking after its master. There's no time to waste. Everything rests on the success. Whatever it takes, I will ensure it happens. I need more money, more power. Suddenly, a restrained knock on the door stopped his train of thought. From beyond the door came a woman's voice, gentle as a soft spring breeze. Pardon me, I've made some tea. May I offer anyone a cup? The door opened. In it stood a beautiful woman with pure white hair. It was indeed her. Are you surprised? She showed up in the last 2 stories. Or did you anticipate her appearance? Though she was not the same age and dressed differently, the white-haired girl who you saw fall at the hands of misfortune in the Era of Roses and the Era of the Beast was also present in the Era of Inno. Furthermore, she was Jacopo's wife. Tea? I don't recall asking for that. When were you asked to make that? I wasn't. I had these wonderful aroma, and I thought you might enjoy it. Oh, shut your trap and know your place. What do you think we have all these maids for? Hey now, don't need to treat your lady like that. You're just trying to be courteous. They're my personal affairs. Your comments. Oh. Friends were unsure how to react, but ultimately nobody stepped up to stop Jacopo. He's being cringe, yeah. They merely shrugged, tossing glances at one another. Jacopo stomped over to the white-haired girl. He then grabbed her by the arm and dragged her from the den. What the hell do you think you're doing? I told you time and again to stay away from that room unless absolutely necessary. Sorry? I made tea and shut up with the tea already. Think we're having tea parties in there like prissy nobles? Sorry? Really feel so bad. Don't go in there in the first place. Get the hell back to your room. I meant, no. I'm your wife. I thought it'd be nice if I could do something. Like I've told you, that's not your job. Don't show yourself in front of other men. I have nothing else to say to you. Got it? Now scram. Sakes alive. First them, now you. Oh, it's driving me up the wall. What is it? I told you to get out of here. Right, but, what? When will you spend time with me? It's been some time since we last went out together. We don't even have to go out. Just having dinner together would... How many times are you going to make me repeat myself, you worthless tramp? Are those ears only for show? Go back to your goddamn room. My apologies. Looking utterly downtrodden, the white-haired girl made her departure. Such a piteous sight she was. As he watched her go, Jacopo nearly snorted, just thinking about the way he behaved, then angers me. I have little fondness for men who do not treat their spouses with respect. As you can see, the white-haired girl was hardly a joyous situation. She was devoted to Jacopo and tried to do whatever she could for him, but he not only brushed her aside, he did so in an insulting, deliberately hurtful manner. They were far from picturesque partners. You wonder then why she married him? The answer to that question will come to light in time. For now, let's follow her. Alright, we're following white-haired girl today. What's she gonna say? Looking down dejectedly at the undrunk tea, the white-haired girl walked alone down the corridor. Though its calming scent filled the air, there was nobody around to have their heart warmed by it. Nor was there anyone to alleviate her loneliness. Despite being the master's wife, the maids who crossed her path in the halls said nary a word to her. Matter of fact... Oh dear, I beg your pardon, madam. One even bumped into her, stifling a laugh as she trotted off. In all likelihood, she did it intentionally. The poor white-haired girl who had fallen to the floor stared helplessly at the broken cups. The tea she made for her husband was forming a stain in the carpet. The maid's behavior towards the mistress of the house was absolutely unacceptable. Nonetheless, it was commonplace, all because of the way Jacopo treated her. The more the man of the house acted cruel to her, the less weight her position as his wife held to the servants. Day in, day out, the maids worked busily, offered little opportunity for leisure. They would naturally have accumulated quite a bit of stress. She became the target for them to let off this steam. Not directly, but through a more subdued kind of harassment from the shadows. She must have felt quite miserable, I imagine. She would have been better off as one of the maids. On the surface and in front of others, they showed respect for her Jacopo's bride, but behind closed doors, they act very much the opposite. The disparity between the treatment she received around others, the treatment she was supposed to receive at all times, and the way she was actually treated made the abuse that much worse. Furthermore, as you've seen through the other doors, Master, she's a very reserved young woman. She could neither raise her voice in reprimand nor raise her hand in retaliation. I have to get this clean. She extended her spindly fingers towards shards of shattered porcelain. But even the broken cup seemed to have no concern to spare for her. Its shattered edge cut her fingertip when she made to pick it up. A trickle of warm red blood ran across her unearthly white skin. As painful at the sight as it was, it had a sort of taboo beauty to it. The blood spilling from her fingers showed no signs of slowing down. She clenched her hand into a fist, let out a sigh, and went back to collecting shards of porcelain. When she did... Madam! What's the matter? Madam, you're bleeding. All the other maids ignored her. One came running over, shouting to the white-haired girl's side. I cleaned and bandaged up. Oh, you don't need to pick that up. That's not your job, madam. Alright. Not much to pick up. Not at all right. And the rest of you. Or are you just standing there? Your boss's wife is on her hands and knees. You're not even lifting a finger to help her? You disgust me. Fine. Don't matter. If you weren't so timid, this wouldn't happen. I have to yell at them, you know? Alright, really? It's my fault. Anyway, we should get the finger taken care of. Get back to your room, okay? Broken cups, the spill. As I said, that's maid's work. Now come, let's go. Okay. And the rest of you, get this mess cleaned up. He roared like the wind in a thunderstorm. The maid stood there dumbfounded, watching as she and the white-haired girl disappeared down the hall. They were soon frowning and grumbling to one another. She thinks she can act all high and mighty just because the master's fond of her. The woman's name was Maria. She was one of the maids. Or do we refer to Maria? I don't know. Go with Maria. It is from me next. She was the one person in the mansion the white-haired girl could think of as an ally. Though her husband paid her no mind and the maids made her life miserable, just one person, Maria, treated her with respect and kindness. And I'm sure you can readily imagine how much of a lifesaver this was. I too found myself somewhat relieved that Maria was there for her. Being a servant to this house, I was also one of the maids working there at that time. However, I was unable to involve myself to any great degree in her fate. This meant there was little I could do to assist her, even in times of pain and unpleasantness. The best I could do was pray that Maria would continue to lend the white-haired girl her hand. And that does it. Thank you, Maria. You're always such a big... No need to thank me. I just did what any good maid should do. No one else is in the room, you know. Oh, right. Then can I drop the act? Man, I can't get used to talking all stuffy. But they're doing my best, but the head maid's still spouting stuff like, your manner of speaking is improper for a servant. Well, every single time we meet. Come on, just shove it, would you? You're a damn creep. Now you mustn't just speak and give her like that. Sorry, slip of the tongue. Just kind of give me the willies, you know? Speaking of, you drop the stuffy talk too, Adam. Kinda awkward if only one of us is acting casual, you know? Normal for me. If I attempted to talk like you, I'd freeze up out of nerve. Not casual. Fair enough. Well, guess what happens? Guess that's what happens when you're raised well. Guess I like it though. It has a very regal feel about it. I don't think my upbringing is the only fact. But you know, upbringing is important. Worth a whole lot more than money, I'd say. I suppose. Thank you, Maria. You're always so compassionate. You betcha, they don't call me the Virgin Mary for nothing. I practically bleed compassion. You know, that might actually very well could be the reincarnation of the Mother of God. Oh, no. You're supposed to laugh at that. It's just embarrassing if you take it seriously. Alone in the white-haired girl's room, Maria was acting much more friendly and relaxed as they conversed, as opposed to her no-nonsense attitude in the hallway. The two women were, as you can see, quite close. They had crossed over the wall, separating master from servant, built a bond of friendship, and at some point they began to speak frankly with one another when no one else was around. Maria was the only person in the mansion around whom the white-haired girl felt comfortable being open. I imagine she much enjoyed these moments of conversation. And you wish to know who the head maid was? Is she going to say it was me? My. Are you sure you want to ask me that, master? Oh. Some questions are better left unasked for your own good. Just say, madam, you have the prettiest fingers. Mine are all rough, dry, and nasty. Think so? Mine haven't the slightest bit of muscle. They're all about as frail as dead branches. But who needs beefy mitts anyway? I think healthy-looking hands like yours are more attractive. What's to like about these things? Women all over the world dream of having hands like yours. Slender, feminine, perfectly cared for. I don't know, just looking at them lights a fire in my loins. Makes me want to lick every last one of them. Actually, hey, can I lick them? Can I run my tongue up and down all 10 of those sweet digits? Come on, can I? What do you say? Not that Maria, seriously. I'm kidding. Don't worry. Right, how did those tea leaves turn out, madam? The ones you imported? All the maids just adore it. I can't get enough of that aroma. I'd sure like to get a taste of it. If you end up with extra, you can spare it for me? That was, what was the cups I dropped? Really? Well, ain't that a crying shame? And Jacopo wouldn't have any of it? Oh, advise that man have such a stick up his ass. We went through all the trouble of making it for him and... He's busy. Not his fault. Busy? I mean, playing billiards, drinking bourbon, puffing a damn cigar? It may look to us like they're making small talk, but I'm certain their meetings have some importance to their business. It was imprudent of me to try and step into the men's world. Oh, that's just not right. I mean, you're his wife. Why shouldn't you be allowed into the room? It doesn't bother me. You don't have to pretend. Here's an idea. Would you like to have some of that tea? We also have some orange marmalade, which you like so much. Add a scoop of that, and a tray of cookies, and we'll have a perfect tea. Singing the siren's song, ma'am. Really shouldn't be doing that with. I really should be doing that with him. He would not have tea. I suspect he does not. I don't want it to go to waste, so. I know it's none of my business, and I have no place at all saying this, but it's not impossible for a woman to file divorce these days. You don't have to sit down and take it, not one bit. You're pretty well educated, still young. Just hope even if you do leave him. Plenty of other men out there. You aren't obligated to stick around with that arrogant jerk. You're busy, right? Here you go again. There was a time when he... wasn't like this when we first met. Back then he was a little awkward, but a kind man. Him? A kind man? Yes, believe it or not. There was indeed a time. Say, Mari, would you mind giving me a bit more of your time? Say, Mari, would you mind giving me a bit more of your time? I'll make some tea and we can talk. Alright. You're telling me about when Jacopo was decent, I'm all ears. I'm sure you're aware, our parents arranged our marriage. Before I emigrated to this country to be married, I lived in a misty island nation. Portraits of my ancestors hung in the house where I lived. I remember as a child wincing in fear at the sight of them. My mother and father were constantly telling me to show them respect, as it was their hard work that kept our bloodline alive. However, they were fighting an uphill battle to do the same. It would have been clear to anyone reasonably perceptive that our house was tumbling down. Valuable furniture and painting slowly disappeared. Eventually, the portraits were gone. As our house collapsed, so too did my parents' health deteriorate, robbing us of any source of income. Though I was educated, I lacked the skills necessary to obtain work. Just as we were about to run out of money and options, my parents received Jacobo's parents' marriage proposition. Both our families stood to benefit from it. I had social status. We had what the other lacked. One needs more than money to make it in the world. Without at least a semi-reputable name attached to you, you're liable to get laughed at most social gatherings. I first met Jacopo here in this country. We didn't even know what the other looked like till our wedding day. To be quite honest, I was scared to death at first. I was so nervous. What kind of man would he be? Was I to be wed to some middle-aged stranger? We were not marrying because we'd fallen in love like a normal couple. I knew I was in no position to be concerned with such things, but when I thought about our future, I shook with fear. The man I saw through my veil at the wedding was remarkable. He was young, he had strong, masculine eyes. At the same time, he too appeared nervous. He was shaking much. No, more than me. Seeing that, the priest gave an impish smirk when he asked Jacopo if he vowed his eternal love to me. I counted myself among the happy. I still do. In that moment, I experienced true love. You want to hear about when he was kind to me? After the wedding, we were given a week to ourselves. I suppose you could call it a honeymoon, though we didn't take a trip overseas or even go very far at all. He looked at me with uncertainty and asked, Where would you like to go? Where'd you like to go? I beg your pardon? That's what this week's for, right? I'll consider granting your request, so tell me where you want to go. Oh, so sudden. Nothing? Well, the whole engagement was spur of the moment. Normally we'd have planned a trip in advance, but unfortunately our purpose is served as long as we act the part. You must be disappointed you have to plan your honeymoon as soon as it's happening. What? Speak clearly. I don't like it when people don't speak their mind. I'm sorry. I'm happy. It is a political marriage. Well, you're quite the positive thinker. Your parents say something to make you think that way? Well, either way, if you're so glad to be in this arrangement, then hurry up and decide on a destination. On a destination. There's a limit to how far we can go. If you want to take a trip, I'll consider it. What, is something funny? It just seems comical to me that our wedding's begun and we're only now deciding where we want to go. Not in a bad way, though. Glad our parents didn't arrange everything for us. Perhaps you've heard, but I'm quite sensitive to sunlight and not in the best of health. It would be rather trying for me to spend a full week out of the house. We couldn't go on a trip, but... Speak up. You show me around town. I'm new to this country and unfamiliar with this country. I'm rather afraid to go wandering about it. Show you around. Yes. Would that be possible? Huh. On a rare bit of time off, you ask me to show you around town. Is that really the most exciting idea you have? Sorry. If there's somewhere you'd like to go, I'm fine with that. I'll accompany you anywhere. As if I could drag someone who just professed to being sickly all over the country. My god, I've lost all interest in a trip. At what point was he nice? I believe... Wait, what was his first sentence? I'm scrolling out. Where would you like to go? Where would you like to go? That's what this week is for, right? I'll consider granting your request, so tell me where you want to go. And then what? Speak clearly. I don't like it when people don't speak their mind. I don't think he's been nice even at the start of the conversation. Being nice even at the start of the conversation. Got low standards. Hello? What are you doing? Wait, I've lost all interest in the trip. What are you doing? Get ready now. Beg your pardon? Didn't you want to see the town? Show me around. You're the one who asked. Not like I have any other options, so yeah, I'll show you around. Or just stand there, you dullard. Get a move on. Wait for me, please. He hurriedly climbed into the carriage he'd called for, a look of frustrated displeasure on his face. And then, as if he'd forgotten about me until that moment, he returned, grabbed me by the arm, and led me to the carriage. In retrospect, I realized he was not being very gentlemanly, but I was pleased he was making any attempt to interact with me at all. As the carriage trotted down the streets, I saw so many new things. I spent most of my time cooped up inside at home, so it was like stepping into an entirely new world. And to add to that, the rapid industrial advancement currently taking place, I saw men shouting back and forth as they smacked newspaper articles with the backs of their hands. I saw corner cafes crowded with cigar-smoking men on break from work. It was like the hustle and bustle of a festival, but every festival has its underside. I saw overworked men looking like they're on the verge of collapse, drinking water from a spigot on the side of the road. By way of contrast, I wore fine clothing and had a carriage at my table. Imagine every day was a struggle for them to remain afloat. Had I not married the man I had, I too might have found myself on the streets in similar fashion. But it was not relief that spread through my breast at the sight of them, it was pangs of guilt. It felt to me like a life of opulence was wrong, sinful. It broke my heart to know I was living so much better than them. Jacopo snorted disapprovingly at me, seemingly reading my mind, and then said, "The poor man who envies the rich covets his wealth and finds the ambition to make the same for himself. The rich who pity the poor, thinking it's his duty to give them offerings of philanthropy. To me, the latter is far more nefarious. Excessive charity will ruin a man, make him come to expect handouts. Then there's those with the wrong idea of pity who let themselves fall down to the same place, mistakenly believing somehow it will make the poor feel better. What a joke. If you're going to do anything for them, you might as well encourage them to climb upwards. Spur on economic growth, the flow of capital. Doesn't that sound like the better option? I say nothing, simply smiling and giving an ambiguous nod. He had a point. My sympathy and guilt meant nothing to people actually experiencing hardship. If feeling guilty of my own fortune, I act upon that pity in the way he described, it would accomplish little more than self-satisfaction. He seemed to have been seen straight through to my core. This was a man who'd built his own fortune through investment, which I imagine required him to be rather astute. But does the world where everyone is constantly trying to climb higher and higher sound rather exhausting? I personally would prefer to be in a position where I could watch, if only from a distance, as others climb. But obviously I could not say as much to him. Listen, you just have to be, like, as wealthy as, like, Medici's or, I don't know, Bezos, and you'll be fine. Honestly, I don't even know what you'd do at this point with if you had, like, 100 million. I think the CEO of Microsoft got his, like, $86 million bonus package approved today, and I was like, what do you even want to do? Like, if someone gives you 86 million, what do you even do? Like, that's on top of, like, your annual salary. Like, what do you even do after you got that much money? I don't even know what to do there. I'd have no clue. Like, we're clearly not going to work. We're not going to monetize anything. Like, what's the point? I have no clue. No clue what you do once you get that much money. I mean, presumably, maybe once you've made that much money, they start giving you stupid amounts of money, not because you need the money, but because they're trying to bribe you to not stop working? I don't know. It's hard to tell. Is it greed? I feel like it's greed that keeps people going there. But, like, I don't honestly know. If I got 100 million, I don't know what I'd do. I'd probably still stream and make YouTube content or something, but, like, I don't know what else I would do. Like, you know, it wouldn't make sense to like, it wouldn't make sense to, like, monetize it or be, like, asking for donations or anything. Any money for that? Alright, sometime later the carriage came to a stop in front of a shop. As I look at the building perplexedly, he gestured to the door with his chin, signaling for me to get out. Lost and confused, I stepped down from the carriage, and before me spread a showcase behind a large glass window. Lined up in the case were not precious metals or expensive clothing, but machines. First, I had no idea what kind of devices they were. Have you never had your photo taken before? No, I've had a portrait painted. These machines for taking photographs? A portrait, eh? I'm not surprised. I didn't mean to boast. Go on, get in. Please, wait for me. The owner came out to greet us with a wide smile as we entered the shop. Well, if it ain't the strangest thing I've seen all day. You bringing a lady and a real looker at that. Where on earth did you catch this pretty little thing? She's my wife. Huh? Well, I beg your pardon. I'll be a monkey's uncle. This goes to show you never know where the cards may fall. Make it sound like my getting married some kind of miracle. I always saw you as one to choose money over love, sir. Pardon me, this is appropriate to say in front of your wife. You often come to this shop? On occasion, I need things from here from time to time. There you go, smirking again. What's so funny? We're gonna have our photo taken, yeah? I'm so nervous and excited, I've never had one before. And to have it taken side by side with you. What are you talking about? We said we were getting our pictures taken, and side by side? Please. Sending shivers down my spine. Photography shop, right? Hey, shopkeep. Product I contacted you about. Is it ready? Yep, sit right. I'll be right out. Sit tight, I'll be right out. Take a seat. There's a chair over there. Huh? I'm gonna show you something much more exciting than sitting still and waiting in front of a camera lens. Oh? Just do as I say. Okay. I don't know. I sat down in front of a large mirror, which I presume was normally used to check your appearance before having your picture taken. Sitting before a mirror with someone else present was quite nerve-wracking. Out of embarrassment, I dropped my gaze to my knees. When Jacopo returned, I was entranced by the curious object in his hands. You know what persistence of vision is? The human eye doesn't perceive the world 100% accurately. It's especially true for objects in motion. It remembers images for a short time, so if you put a new image in the same place, your eye perceives it as motion. Seeing for yourself will be faster than explaining it. See the slits in the disc? Through the bottom one and into the mirror. Okay. Good, now just like that. Now bring your head in close. Here goes. Standing behind me, he slid his finger across the top of the peculiar toy, causing it to spin gracefully. And then? Get a simple cinematic. Oh, a dance. Simple animation. What do you see? Oh, they're dancing. A man and woman are dancing. Sounds like you're not having any trouble seeing it. Are they dancing well? They are. The most adorable thing. Adorable. Funny I asked to have it modeled after a ballroom dance. Yes, it is a very elegant dance. But you see, they're small, like little dwarves. I thought it was kind of cute. They seem so close, going around, without ever let going of each other's hand. Incredible. Why does it look like they're dancing? They're all lined up in a row a few moments ago. Goodness, I just explained that to you. It's playing a trick on your eyes. What you're seeing is lots of different pictures in a short period of time. Put it in words you might understand better. It's an illusion. Your eyes are being fooled into thinking the image is moving. Dancing, they really are. They look like they're having a wonderful time. Are you sure it's an illusion and not something else? To me, it does not seem to. Can't see it as anything but two tiny people dancing. That's how it works. Reach out your hand and try to grab them. You won't be able to. It's a shame. I didn't think you actually would. The most precious thing. They look like they're dancing atop my palm. I was mesmerized by the strange phenomenon. Pictures were moving after all. Still images had begun dancing before me. It was almost as if God had breathed life into them. He had called it an illusion, but I couldn't grasp that. It was such an adorable, heartwarming sight. I imagined the two were off living in some other world separate from our own. They looked so happy. I was almost certain they were off dancing in their joyous world, free from all that sorrow and loneliness, pain of this one. Eventually, the speed at which they danced began to slow, as if they were resting their legs. I almost thought I could hear the sound of their feet with you. Ah, they've stopped. They can dance forever. They don't get tired. I see. I'm amazed such an incredible device exists. Makes me wish I'd gone outside sooner. I'm sure someone from a distinguished house as yours has seen plenty of amazing things with your family. I rarely left the house. I'm ignorant about the ways of the world. If you'd not told me, I probably would have never known about moving pictures. The illusion. Moving pictures. You like it? Of course. More than the portrait you had painted. The painting was wonderful too, but I can't seem to make it. Go on, tell me, which do you like better, the portrait or this? I like this better. I see. You look somewhat fleet. So when it comes down to it, it's simply a trick only a child would fall for. Suppose that makes me a child. It means I get to watch something as splendid as two tiny people dancing. I'll happily fall for the trick. Quit describing it as two tiny people dancing. You're gonna lose your head that far up in the clouds. Sorry. I don't know how else to describe it though. The toy called a phenakistoscope. Phenakistoscope. Alright, wheel. Good enough. It was invented around 30 years ago. I had the shopkeep make one modeled after the original design. The shop owner drew this. He did. A lot better than you'd expect, isn't he? Surprised he could draw something so cute. Say it to his face, he'll go as red as a beet. What I'd give to get a load of that. You should tell him that the next time you see him. But how he looks, you mean? Not right to judge people based on their... Oh, I'm just kidding. Don't take it too seriously. Shopkeep here loves new technology. That phenakistoscope is one such invention that caught his eye. It can trick the eye into thinking drawings are moving. Using a sequence of photos, you perhaps make it seem as though real people are moving too. If it becomes possible to show those images to as many people as possible at once, these developments could broaden the options artists have to express themselves. Not drawing, but photos? Yes, photos. By taking hundreds or perhaps thousands of photos, it'd be possible to reproduce the world as we see it. This room, the people walking down the street. There's no point in recording boring everyday life, though. If you're going to leave a record of anything behind, it should be the projects and enterprises that move nations. Say, for example, a moving record of the opening ceremony of the railroad. That would be something worth watching. And then in time, it'd expand beyond a mere record-keeping technology and find its way into the hands of artists. Such a thing possible. Mr. Main, still for a long time to take a single photo. Well, right now it isn't. But eventually it will be, and I'm not simply fantasizing here. That's so. It sounds very futuristic. You want to support people who work on that sort of thing? Is that why you're friends with the owner? It has nothing to do with my wants. I really think there's money in it. The rich starve for entertainment, the artists create that entertainment. I have no interest in their pretentious self-expression. I just want their money. What's so funny? You look like you're enjoying yourself. Honestly, it's just about the money. As you say. Alright, let's get moving. Next is dinner. We're leaving already? Displeased. No, not at all. To tell you the truth, I wanted to spend more time playing with the Nacus wheel, but I could not bring myself to say as much. Reluctantly, I approached the owner to return the wheel. Don't bother, bring it with you. But you don't want it, that's fine too. Just make your decision quickly. You're making the driver wait. Having said that, Jacopo exited the shop, and I alternated between looking at his back and the Fanakis wheel, debating what I wanted to do. And then with a smile, the owner whispered to me, "You're allowed to keep it, really. Your husband out there had it made as a gift for you. A little while back, he came to my shop asking if I could make a phenakistoscope. Now that about knocked me out of my chair. He's a man who almost never asks for favors. Pretty damn brusque, and he's got a tongue sharp enough to cut steel, but he's not wicked to its core, I swear it. Please, man, be a pillar of support for him." In that moment, the Fanakis wheel became a precious treasure to me. He'd only just married days earlier, and yet he'd commissioned it for me without even knowing what I looked like. I was filled with a warm, pleasant elation. I agreed with the owner. Jacopo was not a bad man. He merely had difficulty expressing himself. Hurrying back to the carriage, I gave him my deepest thanks. He glanced over at me for a moment, then turned back to the window and muttered, "Yeah." From there, we went to a restaurant for dinner. Call us a pizza. The rest is an atrocity. It's like I'm chewing on rubber. How can you wave my country's flag and not serve spaghetti? Do you have any shame at all? Wine is pitifully unbalanced, far too high levels of acidity. Listen to me carefully. The house wine is the face of a restaurant. He complained about every little thing. It was a complete disaster. But curiously enough, I was not at all put off by his behavior. When the sun set, the carriage made its way to a nearby hill. The cool nighttime breeze felt wonderful on my skin, flushed from the alcohol. And the light from the gas lamps had a comforting warmth to it. Though Jacopo had complained about the quality of the wine once he had intoxicated himself, his mood improved visibly. It made him unexpectedly talkative. A gloomy town that shuts down at night isn't suited to expansion or growth, but this city isn't like that. You can see people walking beneath the lamps. You can hear the bustle of them talking. A city that has plenty of room to grow. As they ride the rising wave of the economy, many more people gather here. More people means more money in circulation. More money means the city grows, companies are founded, more goods are bought and sold. Change so drastic. It can be difficult to see what's happening from the inside. Majority of people just go about their daily lives, and the next thing they know, things are different. No, I'd wager most don't even notice the changes at all. Only those with eyes sharp enough to realize what's happening can see success. I can't afford to overlook even the most minute change. Dream of some kind? Dream? I'm not sure if it's easy enough to attain to call a dream. Others might call it greed or perhaps ambition. Don't laugh. My intention? To make the world mine. The world? Yes, the world. For that, you need neither physical strength nor kindness, but money and influence. People have no choice but to kneel before those horses, so intent on obtaining power. Because I want to change my country, I imagine. Your country. Here where I, like you, am an immigrant, right? I immigrated from an island in the Mediterranean, though not the same island as you. My country is a peculiar place where candor and violence go hand in hand. As a whole, the country is on the poor side, if no one does anything about that. I'm one of but a few of my fellow countrymen who set his sights on the New World. They're falling far behind other nations. If I find success here, perhaps that will catch their attention. If it doesn't, then my country is doomed to collapse. Much love for your homeland. My feelings are more complicated than merely. But that's nothing you need to concern yourself with. Well, I'll have to remember not to get myself drunk around a woman again. Forget everything I just said. Go time we head back to the home. Alright, but what is it? Is it alright if I provide you encouragement as you try to attain your... I know my presence is more likely to be a hindrance. I'd like to be there to watch. Trek forward. I suppose. Do as you wish. Thank you. Have my support then. Darling? Sent a shiver down my spine, though not an unpleasant one. I'm glad to have you as my partner. Only slightly awkward, I guess. I was without a doubt happy then. His smile, the things he said, the Fanakis wheel he gave me, they were all undeniably real. And those memories gave me the will to wait for the day things go back to the way they were. They allow me to believe. Believe? Really? This is something that actually happened to another maid. She heard a sound in the middle of the night. A sound like dripping water. At first, she thought it was raining, so she looked through the window, but there wasn't a cloud in the sky to cover the stars. Maybe it's a faucet, she thought, so she stepped out of her room and into the corridor. Compared to her room, it was unearthly chilly. The maid regretted not bringing something to cover herself with, but that didn't make any sense. Normally, the temperature wasn't that much colder outside her room. Her night clothes had always been more than enough for a trip to the lavatory. Wondering what the reason could be, she made her way towards the sound, but then she realized something. There were no faucets in the direction she was going. Rather, she was headed towards a hall. The mansion where she served had many halls, but this one was far off in a far corner of the house, the least used hall of them all. It had a high roof, but not a lot of space, so it was difficult to make good use of. It also had a somewhat heavy air to it, a very curious room. It was the kind of place you might assign someone to clean as part of their hazing. Anyway, when the maid realized the sound was coming from that particular hall, she, as you might expect, let out an uncomfortable sigh. But there might be a leak, and having noticed, she couldn't simply ignore it, you know? So, as much as she hesitated, she pushed open the doors to the hall. There was nobody there, and it didn't look like anything was leaking either. There were no puddles, no water, nor water stains anywhere to be found. But she could still hear the sound, drip, 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 getting louder and louder. Slowly stepping further into the room, looking left and right, then left again, she looked for the source of the sound, coming to a stop in the center of the hall. She stood there, still and quiet, and then a chilly spot on the nape of her neck. With a little yelp, she reached back to feel her neck, but it wasn't wet. Confused, she slowly, warily tilted her head backwards. And there hung a bloody skeleton from the ceiling. Ah! That's rich. Oh, amazing. Oh my god. I screamed like a little girl. Maria, you little... My god, are you men or children? This is my house and I'd rather you didn't walk about it like that. Whose words were those again? Shit, how do you know about that? You eavesdropping? Oh, nothing. I do not care. The sort of stupid fantastical tales you women love to pass around. Oh, because they scare you? You've never been able to handle anything scary, Jacob. Oh, don't glare at me like that. You're going to destroy my sides. So, I'm here for the sole purpose of telling me that cheap tripe. Acting tough after the fact just makes you look like twice as much of a wuss. Well, I mean, I did make up a good half of it, but the man really did hear a sound in the middle of the night. And it came from the back hall of this very mansion. Did you know that it used to be a chapel? Again, I have no interest in you women's little ghost stories. Is that so? You sure you're not scared? Rhea? Well, that said, the rumors weren't completely unfounded. This is a pretty old mansion, and it's had a lot of work done in it. It feels like it's barely holding itself together. A big old quilt with pieces from all different time periods. The back hall is one of the oldest patches. There's a huge window on the far end. Supposedly there used to be stained glass in it. This is a depiction of an archangel, they say. Such a shame, I wonder, when it was broken. If it were still there, it'd be worth a fortune. I find that hard to believe. First of all, why would anyone put a chapel inside a mansion? Oh, you've got a point, I guess. Now, how about you do some actual work instead of distracting yourself with all this nonsense? Oh, I do work. But the other maids can be a bit nasty, you know? Dealing with other women is like walking on glass. Am I to blame for that? What if I said you were? Don't give me that look. You're just not fond of me. Simple as that. Nothing you can do about it. That's so. Oh yeah, I was talking to the madam. She was telling me you used to be quite the gentleman. Were you perhaps actually in love back then? Sure, don't act like it. It's easy to miss, but I guess you're not entirely made out of steel. Like when you were younger, but you're still... Do not speak of that. The past is not worth remembering. It's unnecessary. To you, the past exists to be cast aside. It's not important. You want me to talk about it, so I won't. Your wife. Never mind. I'll leave you be. I have to get back to work soon, or I'll be staring down the headmaid's arctic smile. Alright. If the fancy strikes me, I'll drop by and we can trade more ghost stories. Maria. What? No ghost stories? No, not that. I've not forgotten those days. But... he's thinking. I don't know what he's thinking though. I'll be off then. Alright. If the fancy strikes you, drop by and we can trade something other than ghost stories. What did I tell you? I'll consider it. Goodbye. Can't escape anything. Ah, they've grown to be so beautiful. Such a wonderful fragrance. Scent of roses is so calming. I wonder why that is. Would it cause any trouble if I picked one? Hello there. For a midnight stroll, are you? Quite the peculiar hobby, madam. Can't spend as much time as I'd like outside during the day, so I end up coming out. I apologize if I startled you. Oh, not at all. There's a chilling, captivating beauty to the sight of your snow-white form standing there. I would hardly... Doing out so late? I saw a figure through the window. On the slight chance it might be a burglar, I thought it my responsibility to ensure they didn't break in. It was also the middle of the night when the grocer's servant broke into their safe. News of that has spread quite far. I'm sure you would have heard about it. Oh, but Gamache was imprisoned some time ago. Dear me, I cannot seem to get my head out of the past. You intend to give that white rose to someone? I was thinking about giving it to my husband. Well, I expect he has little fondness for such feminine taste. The scent of flowers has a truth. He might find it relaxing when he needs a reprieve from his work. That's very kind-hearted. Speaking of white roses, the rose he meant to give you was the same shade of white. Oh. When you touched it, it turned a deep shade of red. Yeah, it's a flashback to the first series. First story, right? There was but a single white rose in the garden. He was unable to give it to you as he had wished. In his place, he had a decorative rose fashioned for... What exactly are you referring? Oh dear, do you not remember? Why do you assume you've forgotten what happened to the rose accessory as well? He was unable to give that to you either. But in that time, because you rejected the... I'm not criticizing your decision, of course. You had a perfectly good reason for not accepting. Heartbroken from having lost you, he buried the rose in this garden. Over the years, the roses garden withered away, and in their place grew a thick, unsightly nest. Many, many years later, the accessory was dug up by a beast. And curiously enough, it had not a speck of rust on it. Beast? You don't remember him either. Foreign man who, through his interaction with you, almost reached. I have no idea what you're speaking. The only gift I've ever received from a man is my Fanacus wheel. Furthermore, I've only lived in this. While the garden is not as thriving as it is, it's certainly not in ruin when I arrived. Yes, because I've been taking care of it. But for whatever reason, by my hands alone, I'm unable to make it into anything quite as splendid as it is. Once you arrived and began working on it, however, look around. You've restored it to its former glory, to the magnificence of the flaxen-haired family's time. I promise I'm not trying to fault you for it. Now that I think about it, to make sense, you would not remember. Though you are still you, you are different than... Different, though not in the sense you are a wholly distinct person. Tell me, your name? Again? My name is... Yes. But you should already know that. Again? More proof that you... Know that your current name is pronounced the same as the name of the person you are waiting for. What are you talking about? I've met you many times. I know of your past, of events that transpired long, long ago. I'm telling you, what I'm telling you is the truth. I first came to this mansion a year ago. Till then, I'd never left my country, and even set foot out of my... Didn't have any servants either. Where then are you saying we met? Mansion, of course. But I'm telling you the truth. It was a year ago, shortly after my parents fell ill and received an offer for my marriage. I knew something had to be done. I knew it, so I... Truth. That's what you remember. I do not doubt you. But I also suspect I know why you seem so flustered. Are there moments where your memory's easy? Like important details have fallen through the cracks. Needn't fret. One day, eventually, you'll remember all. Now, we're being shown these stories repeatedly. Are we the white-haired girl? That seems like a likely scenario. And there's only two people that occur in these stories. White-haired girl and dark-haired maid. And the dark-haired maid, I mean, we could be made from a different time period. The future, the past, who knows? But like, they've only introduced two characters. So presumably if they're asking who we are, either we are Mystery Person X, who changes their face every story, or we're the maid, or we're white-haired girl, right? One day. But she doesn't call her man. The hell is this? White Rose? Did she leave this here? Flower? What does she think she's doing? Is she trying to aggravate me? Garden. That damn rose garden's the whole problem. Flowers serve no purpose but to deceive. That garden's a sign of weakness. There's no place in this house. Approximately a week had passed since then. The white-haired girl was as usual spending her time in her room, staying inside the house. Then Maria barged in. Madam? Oh my, you're out of breath. What happened? What happened is we have a big problem. The garden, the rose garden. Garden? All the roses you put such love and care into growing are being chopped down. We'll small if we don't hurry. Upon hearing the news, the white-haired girl dashed from her room towards the garden, with Maria following close behind. When she arrived, she saw a dozen or so sweaty, rugged men at work, Jacopo shouting orders. Men clearly had no concept of how much a single flower was worth, no concern whatsoever for their beauty, for they mercilessly, thoughtlessly hacked away at the shrubs like they were naught but weeds. Each flower they tore from the earth extinguished another of the many lives the white-haired girl had put so much time and effort into tending for. Jacopo, what are you... Oh, hello, Maria. I didn't expect you would come with her. Why, it goes without saying. The house has no need of a garden. Damn flowers have no place here. Might as well do something worthwhile with the soil. A miniature railroad would be a better use of the space, and certainly a great deal easier on the eyes. I could even get my hands on some genuine wheels. Same wheels being used on the revolutionary transcontinental railroad. 10 or 20 years down the line, they'll be worth a fortune. Jacob, how much this garden meant to me, don't you? You honestly have no place here. Flowers have a calming effect on people. They're not by any means worth it. Are you saying that white rose was your passive-aggressive way of telling me to calm down? Not at all. I simply thought you... At the end of the day, you're just using them for your own purposes to trick and deceive. You, this rose garden was nothing but... Jacopo. Gone too far. This isn't right. Gone too far. This is my mansion. What I do with my property is my business. With that rose arch out of the picture, we'll have a much better view. Won't be anything blocking the sun any longer. Weren't you supposed to be sensitive to sunlight? Spend too much time out here and you'll be liable to fall ill. Get back inside now. You too, Maria. Poor thing, though she did not say a word, was surely thinking, are you truly that determined to rob me of my sanctuary? Words whirled around in her head, unable to make the final journey to her lips. She stood there looking down at her own feet as her husband marched off, and listened to the screams of roses being reaped. After being torn down by Jacopo, the garden reverted to a state of ruined desolation. A shame, after all the work that went into restoring it to the beauty it had under the flaxen-haired family. And as Jacopo had said, in its place went scraps of metal, train wheels, prototype models, carbon rods. These items may have had value for him, but I certainly don't think it was worth robbing his wife of a place that made her feel comfortable just so we could store them there. Besides, I was rather fond of the rose garden myself. Roses seem to evoke a sense of nostalgia in me. Felt as though somewhere far beyond the edge of my memories, I'd seen another set of roses, modest though it may have. Another garden of roses. Can't remember when it was. Did that come as a surprise to you? Quite sure there are periods of the mansion's history which I'm not aware of. But in any case, Jacob would cause many people great pain in order to repurpose the garden for himself. He continued to walk all over his wife. Whenever she tried to do something kind for him, he'd brush her off, saying, "That's not your place." He paid no mind whatsoever to the looks of dejection that rose to her face each time he rejected her. I was beginning to wonder if anything she had said about the man he had been a year earlier was actually true. If it was true, could a person really go through such a drastic change of heart in such a short time? But he didn't actually do anything nice, did he? I feel like he did all of that out of obligation. Given her own story did not line up with him being a decent person. What do you think, Master? No, I've spoken enough about me already. I seem to be talking a lot about myself this time. That's hardly appropriate behavior for a maid. Now then, let's return to our tale. What do we think? They're asking, so I guess we can think about this for 2 seconds. But like, I don't think there's too much time to spend on this. It's like, yeah, I was commenting, even in his first conversation, they are not writing him to be a nice, friendly, or charming individual. Like, he does a quick trip out of obligation, gets her a present, gets her a wedding present, and then it's down to business. And he just treats her like garbage the whole time, right? We haven't seen... I mean, it could be. We haven't seen enough, but... I don't suspect that it will be significantly different. We saw day 2 of their marriage. Now let's return to our tale. Seems like she was in that that honeymoon period where he can't do anything wrong as long as he's... So even though he's only mostly an asshole the entire time she knows it. She's just assuming that he's gonna be alright. That evening, the white-haired girl sat in her room staring sorrowfully at her phonicus. A small mirror before her, and she tried spinning paper disc. It was just not the same as before. Her husband wasn't there at her side. Even more critically, there wasn't a smile on her face. And then she heard a faint knock on her door. Who is it? Me, madam, it's me. May I come in? Maria, of course. Come in. What are you doing here at this time of night? Well, I was just wondering how you were doing. I have left you alone. No trouble at all. I'm always glad to have you. You're making me blush, madam. I got the feeling you were a little down in the dumps, but I'm not here because I need to be. I just kind of ended up here, I guess. Sorry, I'm not making any sense. I can be a bit of a busybody, you know? Trouble with boundaries, I guess. Anyway, never been able to fix that. Oh, I don't consider you intrusive at all. I can't count how many times your bright smile and cheerful energy have shone a light on me when things were dark. If I didn't have you, I would have given up already. I'm just here. But now you're exactly right. I'm feeling a bit dispirited. The garden was an even bigger life for him. Perhaps I'm being overly dramatic, but the roses were like children. I get it. I do. You put your heart and soul into tending the garden. It was obvious how much you loved them. Of course, it's gonna hurt watching a bunch of men stomp all over your flowers and you cared for them like your own children. Now, I know I said this once already, but you don't need to force yourself to put up with him, really. You don't have to bend to his will just because you're a woman. You can survive without him. Anytime you want to walk away, it's your choice. I mean, sure, I'd be lonely if you left, ma'am, but your happiness is more important than any of that. So, you know, thanks, Marie. Really appreciate it, but I'd like to wait. The day I can see his warm smile. You say so. Well, in that case, I guess I'll have to be there to back you up, right? You'll be alright. You'll leave everything to this holy virgin. I'll have a stupid grin on my face no matter how down you're feeling. You really are the incarnation. I told you. It's just a joke. Whatever. Hey, madam, how about a dance? Dance at this time of night? Yep, and since it's so late, no loud music. All you get is a little whistling, courtesy of me. We'll use the Great Hall. Wouldn't that put us in everyone else's way? Probably complain about the noise. No need to worry. Jacobo's out inspecting some factory or something today. For that, he's got a meeting, so he'll be staying the night somewhere else. The rest of the maids are in their rooms chatting away. No one will notice. Where I come from, we dance all the time. Take, eat, drink, and be merry to heart. No food or drink for us, but we absolutely can dance. Dancing is a great way to forget all your cares. Okay. Much of a day. No big deal, nobody's watching. Come on, put on a fancy perfume and we'll have some fun. Have any perfume? Didn't think so. You got all the right ingredients, ma'am. But you don't try to make anything special out of them. Got so much potential, but not even a decent-sized wardrobe. At the very least, you should wear some perfume. Is why, ta-da! I brought some with me. Maids are in love with this stuff. It's a big hit with women all over the country. Base is vanilla. It's got several other fragrances mixed in. Give it a try. It smells divine. Come on, what's the harm? A little splash on your wrist like so? What do you think? Smells wonderful. Isn't it? Do you like it? Very much so. Excellent. Excellent. Now off we go to the Great Hall. We're really gonna dance? You bet your butt we are. Not healthy to hole up in your room all day. I know you can't handle a lot of sunlight, but you gotta have some fun and move your body, right? Come on, let's go. Oh, Marie. Though she looked outwardly uncertain as Maria led her forward, hand around her wrist, the white-haired girl seemed to be enjoying herself on the outside. Having spent her life without a single friend, she never dreamed the day would come when she'd find herself being dragged through the empty halls of a dark mansion by another woman. Maria's presence seemed to shine a light upon the quiet corridor. It would have been a very lonely trek without her. Maria spun around and gave an impish smirk, raising her pointer finger to her lips with a soft shh. Sight of it caused the white-haired girl to chuckle quietly. The two of them on their way to their secret private ball like two adolescents. In short order, they arrived at the Great Hall. Was pounding all the way here? What's there to be nervous about? Not like you're breaking any rules. Only kids get in trouble for staying up late. Once you've grown up, you're responsible for yourself. God. I'll say though, it seems rather odd for two women to dance together. Oh, if you're having a good time, does it matter what's between your legs? Where I come from, there's dances where families lock arms in a big ring and go round in circles. Who says two girls can't have some fun together? Imagine you've had many good moments with your family. Well, I don't have a family anymore. What? Alright, so I'll show you how it's done. Watch carefully, because you're next. Okay. With a wide grin on her face, Maria began whistling softly, prancing across the floor with an energetic rhythm. It wasn't the kind of complicated dance you'd see at fancy parties. Motions were simple, flowing, unembellished. A folk dance, I suppose you might call it. She seemed to be improvising a little bit as well. But in any event, the white-haired girl was captivated. Despite it being a sequence of steps anyone could replicate, Maria breathed life into the dance. She was neither as lithe as an acrobat nor as light on her feet as a professional dancer. She was her own lively, beautiful self. Maria twirled in place, the skirt of her maid uniform billowing gently up around her. With a smile, she extended her hand towards the white-haired girl. She hesitated for a moment, but as if pulled by some invisible force, she took Maria's hand. Hand in hand, Maria ushered the white-haired girl into her dance. It was just the two of them, but you could almost see the crowd. Oh, is the curse of the mansion only affecting the white-haired girl? I just thought about that. I guess we'll see what happens here. But I'm like, is the curse directed at someone, specifically the white-haired girl? It just screws her over really hard. Is that what happens? She gets reincarnated, pulled to the mansion, suffers a whole bunch, and then life moves on. It's just the two of them, but you could almost see the crowd forming around. The other people stepping up to join in. That's it, ma'am. Doing great. Lift your leg up. Good. Spin like so. Easy, Maria. I'm having trouble following along. You can do it. Looking good so far. You're a natural. I am. I won't fall for your flattery. I mean it. The whispers of the two girls. Muffled laughter. Step, hop, step, step. The rustling of fabric. Many different soft sounds layered atop one another, creating a little bubble of happiness in the center of the hall. The white-haired girl's movements were a great deal clumsier than Maria's, but Maria would never disparage her for that. On the contrary, she showered her with praise. As flustered as the white-haired girl appeared, I imagine she was quite pleased. Before long, the tightness in her face muscles. A smile spread across her lips, and she began brightening up. But I'm still trying to figure out what the weird patterns are. Yeah, I think it's supposed to be random. See what I tell you? Fun, huh? The background has all these circle patterns, right? Yes, I'm quite surprised, both that I can dance and that I enjoy doing it so. Glad to hear it. They exchanged looks and both laughed. That night might have been the first time I'd ever seen the white-haired girl so delighted. Maria immediately stopped for a break. She could surely have continued dancing for some time yet, but Maria was conscientious of the white-haired girl's physical condition. She looked over at Maria regretfully. My apologies, if only I had more. Hardly a suitable partner for you, Maria. Oh, sure you are, sure you are. This is all to cheer you up, ma'am. As long as you're having fun, nothing else matters. And heck, I'm enjoying myself plenty too. What do you think? Would it be nice to do this again sometime? Whenever you're feeling down, let's dance. You really do enjoy dancing with a frail girl like... Have a bit more confidence in yourself, ma'am. You're pretty and kind-hearted. I have loads of fun when I'm with you. You don't need to be so hard on yourself, got it? Thank you. Pleasure's all mine. 'Tis an absolute honor to have the rare opportunity to see such a bright smile on your face, madam. My apologies for keeping you up so late. Get back to my room. Oh, I didn't even realize what time it was. I'm more than up for a little more gum flapping. Improved my mood more than adequately. I would not want you to be tired for work tomorrow. Okay. Well then, let's get out of here. Smiles on both their faces, they made to exit the great hall. However, before they reached the door, it swung open, and a man's towering shadow cast the two women into darkness, his cold, bitter glare affixed on them. If I'd even had the faintest premonition this might happen, I would have done anything in my power to stop the two cheery girls on their way to the hall. But I'm eternally powerless. What are you doing? Standing before them in the door was the master of the house, Jacopo. I thought you'd not be back. How would you know that? I forget that. Does my staying the night elsewhere have any effect on you? You were just waiting for this opportunity, weren't you? What would I possibly want you out of the house for? I'm sure you know better than anyone. What does that smell? Perfume? When did you get perfume? I have to say, you seem to be having quite the time. Look at you. Out of breath, red as a beet. I made the right decision coming back. Where the hell were you going? Jacobo, calm down. Seriously. You've shut it. Now you're taking this tramp's side? I've told you before, you're not to leave the house without first consulting. What do you mean to tell me you've forgotten? God, your ears aren't just for show, alright. They're better than that. You can throw out the parts you don't want to hear. I wasn't doing anything. Silence, I have no interest in your excuses. You're always watching for the shadows, observing, trying not to step on anyone's toes. And in the back of your mind, you're mocking me. You know what? Listen up and listen good. You try stepping out of line again. You try disgracing me again. You will not get away with it. For the love of God, get it back to your room now. You too, Maria. God, what is this sickeningly sweet smell? How utterly infuriating. It'll take forever to get this off of me. I always thought you had at least some sense of taste. Why do you have to disparage her so? What did she do wrong? What did she do to deserve that? She did nothing whatsoever. She deserved none of the ridicule he showered her with. However, she was not a strong-willed woman, and she didn't have the courage to retort to the man yelling at her. Neither did Maria, it seemed. Without another word, they both scrambled out of the great hall away from Jacopo. The white-haired girl was a painfully miserable sight to behold. The cheer had drained from her spirit, and the rosy hue of her now pale cheek. She was hunched forward slightly, looking like a small scared animal. Say, sorry, this is all my fault. I didn't ask you to dance. Me bringing the perfume only made things worse. You don't need to feel bad about anything, Maria. Everything you did was with my best interests at heart. So don't worry. I'll be fine. So, madam, I'll clear everything up. I really am to blame, after all. He wouldn't even give you the time of day if you tried. He's a stubborn little shit when he's mad. I'll talk to him. He's more likely to listen to me. I'll make sure he knows when he was jumping to conclusions. That I'm the one who dragged you out there to dance. Also that I forced you to wear the perfume. I'll clear everything up, okay? Please. Hear him? Best if you could tell him myself. But yes, you are right. He would likely... He rarely ever listens. It could be a shame. I can't even hold a simple conversation with my own husband. Things happen, you know. Not easy being married, in a lot of ways. I apologize for having you do something so unpleasant, but I would appreciate that. Oh, no problem. I'm happy to. No need to apologize. I got this. I'll dunk his head in cold water until he's not blowing steam from his ears anymore. I'll cool him down, promise. And you never know. Maybe he'll be open to listening. You'd be back the way you were a year ago in no time. Don't you worry. I'll take care of it, ma'am. Be positive. You look so much better with a smile on your face. Thank you. I doubted Jacopo would listen, even coming from Maria, and I imagine the white-haired girl felt much the same way. However, she grabbed onto that sliver of hope. She let herself dream. She let herself believe, even just faintly, that everything would go well. Such is human nature. When uncertainty has you in its clutches, you grasp at whatever hope you can find to keep yourself afloat. That night, she did not sleep. She was afraid even in her dreams Jacopo would be shouting at her. It felt as though her memories of a year prior were beginning to crumble away. Alright, the next morning, Jacopo stood alone in the den by the billiards table. He appeared to be rather agitated, his face twisted into a frown. His pointer finger tapped restlessly against the hard surface of the table. Evidently no longer able to stay in one place, he paced a circle around the table, swiping up a rack and cue, setting up a game of 9-ball. I'm not intimately familiar with the ways by which men entertain themselves, but in truth I was bewitched by the sight of him leaning over the table. It almost seemed as though a steel rod ran straight from his shoulder to the tip of his outstretched finger, upon which the cue was secured by another finger looped over. The smooth, flowing motion, he thrust the cue forward slightly, pulling it back and repeating the process once more, before ramming into the cue ball, sending it rolling into the diamond of colored balls. Diamond, not triangle. Alright. Chorus of clicks and clacks emanated from the center of the room. It said 9-ball. Oh, it said 9-ball. Diamond would be 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, which would be 9, right? Ah, that's fair. Ah, that makes sense. Okay, balls collided with one another and ricocheted off the cushioned walls, a few landing in the pockets situated around the edges of the table. Jacopo appeared to have accomplished this with little trouble, but I imagine merely striking the ball with the stick would be rather difficult for someone inexperienced. Not really. Despite his accomplishment, it seemed to only exacerbate his agitation. Lousy position, muttered, though I hadn't the faintest idea what he was talking about. What should have been a game for his enjoyment, he went about with a constant look of exasperation. I suspect he was using it as a way to blow off steam, and as a result the tension in the air was palpable. I felt it would be improper to intrude on him, even considering my distaste for the man. There was an undeniable beauty in every motion he made, every perfectly audible clack of billiard balls bouncing off. Enchanting sight. But then someone, without the slightest regard or appreciation for beauty, came marching in with a hammer to shatter it like glass. Gotta say, that was pretty impressive. A man leaned against the frame of the open door. He was neither a resident nor a worker of the mansion. The man's face was covered in scraggly stubble, his body draped in grime-caked garments. His eyes were sunken so deep as though I was looking at a fleshless skull, though there was a feral glimmer in them. Needless to say, he wasn't prim and proper. How long has he been there? Not long, but man, I can't help laughing. Why is this guy introduced as having a name already? As Tommaso. You're completely on your own, in your own world there. What do you want? Why don't you send a maid for me? Oh, don't be such a hard ass. We ain't strangers, man. Why should family have to go through maids to see you? It just ain't right, brother. Your doors should always be open for family. Enough. I'm not your family. We're bound by something stronger than blood. Our family, our Koska. Don't you ever bring up the Koska when it's in your interest. Harry. Come on now, what happened to you, little Jack? Where'd the little boy who used to call me Uncle Tommy go? Don't you dare use that godforsaken name. Get the hell out of my sight. What in God's name are you doing here? Man hailed from the same country as Jacopo. They had a peculiar relationship, though they were not blood related. He referred to Jacopo as family. They came from a sunny island in the Mediterranean Sea, a place of many unique customs and an entire underground society. Koska was a word that originated from and referred to those underground families. It would be another 30 years before organizations like theirs received much public attention. At the time, they were not widely known. Just a short step into the future and they'd grow so powerful the very mention of them would send a chill through the entire... Hey now, that's no way to talk to a fellow Berzati. You're on the short list to become the next Capo Familia. We respect our brothers. That's how we operate. I could go home and say you threw me out of your house. How'd you like those rumors to spread? Soon to be Capo Familia, I wouldn't even listen to a little request. I very much doubt anything you said could damage my reputation. I ain't been exiled yet. As long as I'm one of them, they won't ignore me. That's some mighty fine looking whiskey you got there. Don't mind if I do. Nothing here is for you to drink. Booze is my lifeblood, man. No love for a brother. Worthless leech. It surely won't be long before you find yourself in exile. If you're lucky enough to get off the hook with just exile, that is. Child could snap that scrawny little neck of yours. Well, if I'm gonna go, I'd rather go tied up, tortured for days, covered in tiny little cuts from head to toe. Oh, you sick bastard. You disgust me. Call me a carnal adventurer. I despise the mundane. Last thing I want is to go out like a wet fart. Is this what you came for? Waste my time with your insipid nonsense? Hardly, hardly. Surely you have an idea what I'm here for. How much I need. Oh, you damn maggot. A worthless leech, a sick bastard, and a damn maggot. What other names you got up your sleeve for me? Son of a... You honestly think this is how you ask for a favor? Excuse me. I beg of thee, oh esteemed future capo familia. I'm bone broke, not even enough money to put bread on the table. Did you spare a little for a brother? You brought this on yourself, I'm sure. I hear more than enough stories about you. Hardly any of them pleasant. Drinking, gambling, debauchery. I'm humiliated to be the same Costco as you. You want to make money? Play? You gotta learn the game first. Does the worm who played himself into oblivion? And do you honestly believe I'll give you anything? Oh, but you will. You've got no choice. Costco rules. You're required to help a fellow countryman. Especially considering how few of us are stranded on this colossal landmass. You won't even notice the money's missing. It ain't because you can't, it's because you don't want it. But Jacobo being a tight ass does nothing for you. Me coming to you for help keeps your good name clean. That's the thing about being boss. Quietly keep little shits like me out of trouble. That trouble don't come raining back on you. You don't seem to understand your place. Rather than lecturing me, you should be on your hands and knees begging and crying for my help. That's what you want, I'll gladly comply. Happy to kiss your boots while I'm at it too. Oh, don't even think about it. Know this, there won't be a second time. I'll be reporting your conduct to the family back home. I look forward to seeing how they deal with you. Try to have a bit of mercy, would you? Hey, is there a maid around? It doesn't matter who. How may I serve you, man? Get a single stack from the safe. Here's the key. Goes without saying, but don't touch anything else. Give that money to that man as you're escorting him out the door. As you wish. Is that all you needed? Yes, now get to it. Very well, excuse me. Well. That's one looker of a maid you got there. But there's something eerie, strange about her. Fancy that. We agree on something. How long has she been working here? Couldn't tell you. As I recall, she came with the house. Is that the kind of woman you fancy? Gal, you can't read. It'll always be interesting. That's so. How do you mention? How old is that woman? I suppose it doesn't much matter. Oh yeah, Jacobo. One other thing I wanted to talk to you about. What is it this time? If it's more of your blather, I'll shoot you dead where you stand. Oh no need for threats. This one's about your, better half. What about my wife? Well, to put it simply, she came to me asking for advice, looking a little distressed. My wife asked you for advice? From the sounds of it, you're pretty rough on the little lady. It just ain't right, man. You managed to snag yourself abroad that pretty, and you ought to treat her at least a little better, you hear? She looks good with a smile. You gotta make her show it to you every once in a while. Why would she come to you about that? Don't ask me. Maybe she ain't got no one else to talk to. And you know, for whatever it's worth, I am part of the same Costco. Guessing she thought I'd get through to you easier? Really, you have to put a little more thought into how you act around her. She'll be smiling for you like always. Oh yeah, I got just the thing. Women love this stuff. I'm sure she'll be thrilled. Perfume? Haven't you heard? Everyone's talking about it. I'm a big fan of the stuff too. It smells great. Big girl smiles at you wearing some of this. Any man to be in love in an instant. Never given her nothing fashionable before, have you? They look like just scented water, but you can't let that fool you. Go on, give it to her. You look like a nice smelling lady too, don't you? A little bit of scent can give a different flavor to your nighttime excitement. Vanilla. Well, I've said my piece. I'll be taking my leave. Don't want to keep your maid waiting too long and get on her side. Hold on, Tommaso. Why would she? Make it last. That's all the advice your Uncle Tommy has for you. Ciao. Wait, Tommaso. Tommaso! Already knew he was Italian, so we're not surprised. He'd go after him, but it'd be a simple task to catch him, grab him by the neck, make him tell me where he spoke with her, what she told him. Why will my legs not move? Asking him for advice, fashionable perfume, her smile. She looks good with a smile. She's smiling for you like always. That can't be. She hardly ever smiles around me. But she'll smile for him. Last night when she was short on breath, having a grand time wearing that perfume, getting ready to leave the house. Just who was that smile for? God damn it. I don't think I'll let you run free any longer. His eyebrows were furrowed, creating deep creases on his forehead. Several servants stood off to the side, watching their master attentively as he stomped past them down the corridor. However, no one said a word to him. Had I not been preoccupied attending to his countrymen, I likely could have prevented it. The look on his face would have made it obvious something bad was about to happen. Something that would serve only to further misfortune. He was already in a less than ideal situation. He was perched on the edge of a hill, soon to begin rolling down into even worse territory. Jacopo? What's the matter? If you want to visit, you could have said something rather than coming in without knocking. Is that really necessary? Pardon? Is there something you so desperately want to keep from me that I must knock before entering? I should have to let you know in advance that I'm coming? What are you... Well, is there? You went to talk to him behind my back, I'm told. What did you tell him? You moaned to him about my behavior? That hurts. I told him I'm rough with you. You cried on his shoulder because I'm not nice enough? Him, of all people? Wait, Jacopo, you're mistaken. Let me... Silence, not a word. Not a single godforsaken word. The only thing that comes out of your mouth is excuses. Lies and fabrication. You put on this sweet, innocent little girl act. What's really going through your head? Maybe I should just rip that mask off your face. Jacopo. Look down on me. Your nobility. I'm just a nobody who married into it. Let go of me, please. When did it start? How long have you been seeing him? Who else have you been seeing? Covering yourself in fashionable perfume, smiling, even though you never smile around me. Please let me go. I can see in your eyes. He's just a worthless commoner. Why would you think that? Why will you not listen? Silence. It's all your fault. Every last thing. I tell you not to leave the house, but you do. I tell you not to do as I tell you to do as I say, but you ignore me. Every last thing you do drives me mad. I didn't. Okay. I don't have time right now to deal with this. To wreck my mind over a woman. I don't have time for it. Why do you not do as I say? You not have enough already, huh? Will you not be satisfied until you've taken even my arms and legs? I've given you money, clothing, everything. You have an incredible life. Isn't she literally not allowed to leave? Wait. That's not too bad, I guess. It could be worse, I suppose. I would debate the words incredible. I would debate the words incredible. Look around you. That life of luxury you and your parents wanted, it's right here. You have it. What more could you possibly want? Why do you insist on being unfaithful? Think what I'm doing is unfaithful to you? How should I describe it? You leave your room despite me ordering you not to? Don't think I don't know. You came to the den the other day. You had your eyes on the other man. I don't have such inclination. Enough. Not another word from you. I have no interest in your excuses. That's how you're gonna act. Say goodbye to your freedom. You're forbidden from leaving the mansion, or your room for that matter, or even speaking to the servants. Oh, I know what I'll do. I'll make you a new room. Too many people come in and out of this one. It'll be more quieter, out of the way. You like the garden? How about I put it there? If you leave that room without my permission, this time, I'll kill you. Why will you not listen to me? Jacopo, master of the house, likely loved the white-haired girl. Press X to doubt. Actually, I'm gonna press X to doubt literally from the first minute. That's what I saw in their exchange. Alright, I mean, I guess the maid has very different opinions of what love is like, but I don't think he's ever loved her. Day one, he married her the day he met her in an arranged marriage from their parents. Solely for the social title so he could invest more. He has not loved her. He has not loved her at any point. The thing he loves, if he wants to say he loves her, is he loves her family name and having it tied to his. That's what he loves, right? The individual has been completely irrelevant and completely ignored this entire time. Am I not crazy? The individual he wants her as a trophy on a pedestal, right? Good old trophy wife. So even her leaving her room to go to the ballroom in her own house is offensive to him, right? That's also why he bans her from all the other rooms too. And why she didn't even want to go to the ballroom at night in the first place, because she was scared she'd get in trouble for leaving her own room, right? Normally love's supposed to be sweet, warm, and wonderful. It makes you care for and value the person more than yourself. But it was the exact opposite for him. I never knew that love could be such a painful thing. How does his love end up so twisted? You are mistaking loving a thing associated with a person with loving the person. He likes the family name and the prestige, the social prestige it gives him when he's doing business. He wants, remember, he wants everything. He wants to own everything. So I guess having claim to nobility makes him feel better. Probably because he's super insecure, but hey, he's got $1 bajillion, so whatever. What do you expect to happen by confining and abusing the woman he loved? Perhaps he's conscious of that. To be human is to find oneself driven by uncontrollable internal impulses. A few days later, Jacopo dragged the white-haired girl from her chamber and led her outside. The garden she once loved was now a thing of the past. It had become a dreary place, nary a rose in sight, and being taken there did nothing to improve her mood, only sadden her further. Cold gray piles of metal freckling the barren earth seemed to mock her. Her husband led her, the lady of the house, to a shed that had been repurposed into a Spartan living area. She begged and pleaded, but Jacopo would not have it. He shoved her into the sad little shack and locked the door. Well, on one hand, that kind of sucks. On the other hand, since the maid told us it's the same person, is this supposed to be your is this supposed to be your life of suffering in exchange for your life of enabling a murderer? I'm just like, throwing stuff out there. Like, what's it supposed to be? There's supposed to be some meaning or use in this. Like, why tell us this story, right? In the context of this meta-narrative, why tell us this story? Either this is part of our history and we are like the white-haired girl, some way. The history of the mansion? If it was the history... See, I feel like if you were just writing the history of the mansion, you would have write the conclusion to all the stories, but they didn't conclude the first story. So, it can't be the history of the mansion. It has to be the history of the white-haired girl in relation to the mansion, which is why it continued on the second one, right? So maybe we're following the white-haired girl because that's us? Like, I think that may be it? I'm not quite sure. We'll see. Oh, how did things end up this way? Why? All I wanted to do was go back to the way things used to be. For us to be able to smile around each other. It had been several days since Jacopo had locked her in the shed, and her day-to-day life was only growing more arduous. She was under constant surveillance. The door was only unlocked to deliver her meals 3 times a day. Despite what an unfortunate situation their employer's wife found herself in, the maids chattered and gossiped and giggled freely. Not even in the shadows, out of her presence, tactless young maidservants whispered directly to the white-haired girl when they brought her meals. "Look at you, madam, caged away like cat." Could almost hear the sound of cracks forming in her heart. I imagine she'd gotten to the point where she was having difficulty merely holding herself together. She had done nothing wrong, and yet she was forced to live this life of insults and mockery, of ridicule. The only reason her tenuously held together spirit did not completely shatter was because she still had her one and only ally. The maid Maria volunteered to attend to the white-haired girl. Maria took over the duty of delivering her 3 meals, meaning the other maids stopped coming by. That relieved the white-haired girl's mental and emotional stress considerably. Maria became her sole conversation partner, her sole companion. She did not leave as soon as her meals were finished, instead remaining in the shed with the white-haired girl for some time. So, Adam, how about a funny story? Flubbed it up pretty hard the other day. You want to hear about it? A couple days back, I didn't get enough sleep the previous night, right? I'm helping out in the kitchen, half awake, plating up some food, and when I go back to bring it out to the guest, my heart leaps out of my mouth. Guess why? What I thought the plate was actually an ashtray. Oh man, I was sweating like a pig. The guest didn't seem to notice, but the other maids were as pale as ghosts the entire time. But everyone had themselves a case of the vapors. Got quite the tongue lashing at cleanup. Pretty funny, right? Sounds like a pretty bad day. Yeah. Hey, ma'am. I know where there's not much point telling you to cheer up right now. I'm sure he won't keep you locked up forever. He's just a bit crabby for now. He'll be alright. I guess this is a bit drastic for a temper tantrum. Sorry, ma'am. If only I'd pushed him a bit harder. If only I'd had a bit more influence, you might not be in this situation. Thought I could be of some help, but I guess I'm not doing a great job of that. Of course not, Maria. You absolutely. Your being here takes a great weight off my shoulders. Still, though, I feel so worthless. Because I'm just a maid. I can't set you free. Okay. Used to being imprisoned. What do you mean you're used to it? You never locked your door before. Ah, you're not sure why, but I feel as though I've been in a similar predicament before, lacking freedom and contact with others for a long stretch of time. I'm sure it's simply the exhaustion getting to you, ma'am. One should ever be used to living like this. I agree. I pray things go back to the way they were soon. Is getting mad at him ever crossed your mind? Getting mad? Yeah, you know, when he yells and you yell back, you let him know he's in the wrong? Ever consider doing that? I guess you're not one to get angry, ma'am. It would mean you're a better fit for the Holy Mother than me. Oh no. I do sometimes want to get angry. Tell you the truth, it's always going through my mind. If I raise my voice, perhaps he'd listen to what I have to say. But when I'm standing there in front of him, he starts shouting at me. I freeze up and end up not saying a word. Just such a pitiful woman, everything about me. When I need to speak up most, to stand up for myself, I cannot. Don't look so down. Not a bad thing. It's got you in a bit of a pickle right now, but I'll clear everything up with him. You hear? In my mind, your modesty is a virtue. The more I think about it, I can't even imagine you screaming. I like you better the way you are, reserved and ladylike. You can leave it all the yelling to me. Do whatever I can to help you, ma'am. Be able to clear up his confusion about the night when we were dancing? Oh, about that. Sorry, he just wouldn't hear it. Oh no, I'm not throwing in the towel. I'll keep trying as long as it takes. So, Say, Maria, can I perhaps ask another favor? Yeah, sure, let me have it. To write him a letter. A letter to someone who lives in the same house? Yes. As things stand, I simply cannot go to visit him on a whim, and I feel as though I could calmly express on paper things I'm unable to say to his face. In fact, I might have more luck that way. I also believe he'd be more likely to maintain his composure reading my thoughts in a letter than hearing them from my mouth. With it, I can clear up the confusion and things can go back to the way they were. A letter, huh? Interesting. I'll write the letter, which I would like you to deliver to him. May I ask it that of you? Absolutely, not a problem. Thanks, Maria. You're the only person I can count on, and I mean that. Why? Why would she betray me? I wanted to give her a decently happy life. I didn't want to get violent with her. Yet when I saw her face, when I heard what she had to say, I couldn't restrain myself. I guess that's what it comes down to. No matter how you dress it up, I'm still a Berzadi. There was never any way for this bloodline to give that girl happiness. Damn. Why am I fretting over this nonsense? And I'm supposed to be the future head. Illusion. They're dancing. They really are. They look like they're having a one. Are you sure it's an illusion and not something? You cannot see it as anything but two tiny people dancing. That's how it works. Reach out your hand, try to grab them. You won't be able to. The most precious thing. They look like they're dancing atop my palm. Threatening how much innocence rests within those hands, like they've been completely cut off from all the world's filth. My hands, however, are soaked in blood. I fear that bringing her into my world may taint her. Am I capable of protecting this woman's purity? And yet I watched her so joyously playing, felt as though I'd gotten close to her. I was the one being a child that day. Jacopo, it's me, Maria. Is it alright if I come in? Fine, come in. Alrighty. Well, let me surprised. I didn't think you'd let me in. Have I ever denied you access to my room? Nope, but you've been looking pretty glum lately. I haven't exactly been a cheery man. True enough. I know you told me not to talk about your wife, but I'm gonna stick my nose where it doesn't belong today. There's been a lot of chatter among the maids lately about you getting rough with her. I mean, you got the poor thing locked up in a shed outside. You're not leaving the best impression on anyone. Here to box my ears? I don't know, 50-50? The other half is, I'm concerned about you. I know you're not the kind of man to threaten someone without a good reason. You're not. I thought you were friends with her. I am. It hurts seeing her in so much pain. And why has that not changed the way you act around me? I think you'd be scorning me with the rest of the maids. Oh, I see how it is. You don't trust me. And we've known each other so long. Not a question of whose side I'm on. You're in pain too, I can see that. You've always bottled things up, kept them hidden. Too proud to rely on others, but you should probably vent to someone before it reaches the point where you no longer can. Say, Jacopo, remember the promise we made a while back? How far back? Back when you were still shorter than me. You were 14, I was 12. I had to leave town, you came to see me off. Quite frankly, I didn't think you'd come. I was surprised, even if I didn't show it. Jacob, where's your dad? Are you here alone? You didn't even tell me. Ah, no reason you have to leave town. The old man says the Campanellas have more power. Should be the one leaving. Not that simple. Grown-ups have a lot to consider. Don't give me that look, Jacopo. We were kids, but we both kind of started to catch on to the situation our families, to the bonds that land held on to us. Though we didn't know any of the details at the time, my grandpa owned all the land the city was built on. He was a very conservative man. He didn't try to spread his influence, instead opting to fortify what he already had. I don't know exactly when it first started, but organizations were used to administrate cities. When we were kids, my dad was the capo familia, my grandpa his concierge. But just because he was an advisor didn't mean he was powerless. While my dad made the decisions, my grandpa was the only one allowed to fight him on them. Your father was a capo decina that served under my dad. He wasn't exactly happy about that. Parents quarreling doesn't affect their kids, or at least that's what I thought at the time. That's what you probably thought too. But there was still a chance we'd be caught in the crossfire, so my dad decided to send me and my mom away. Off the island and to the north were some more prosperous areas. He thought by sending us there we could live our lives clean regardless of where we came from. There's no changing what's in your blood though. Told me too. Or were you planning to leave without saying anything? Not decided so quickly. Why do you sound so accepting? Adults have a lot to consider. You bet they do. You could at least then let them know you're opposed to it, Maria. But no, your tail went straight between your legs as soon as you were told. You just gave up and accepted it right away. Thought you were better than that. Think I don't know that? I'll just be my dad's way if I stay. I'm a kid, a girl. I wouldn't be any help if something happened. I don't want I need someone to protect me. Never once thought of you as a girl. That's mean. Jeez, thanks, Jacobo. Now you're getting me all mushy too. If anyone should be sad here, it's me. I'm not sad. Really. You sure you're not actually torn they won't be around anymore? You're a huge crybaby after all, Jacobino. When have I ever cried? And don't call me that. Wait, you man. You're abused as ever, I see. You gotta learn to keep your man, the heir to the Berzotti family. Don't you lecture me. So you could at least listen to me this once before I'm gone. Maria, get a little time to spare. Sure, but not much. The carriage is gonna be here soon. You have enough for a trip to the hill and back? I should have time for that. Because of our families, we weren't able to get along with the other kids in the city, so we played a lot at the top of that hill. It became like our little secret lair. There was an abandoned house up there, I guess, an old farmhouse or something. Kids love that sort of thing, you know? We called it the Casa Nostra, our home. Pretended it was actually ours. We drew circles on the wall in chalk and used it for target practice. We brought up a bale of straw and used it to make makeshift beds. When either of us got into fights with our parents, we'd stay the night here instead of home. In retrospect, I'm sure they knew where we were going and just let us do our thing. Oh yeah, there was this one time we were playing and a huge storm rolled in, trapping us up here. The wind wasn't just howling, it was screaming bloody murder. It was blowing so hard I thought the house might fly away. As I recall, you were crying that night. Hey Nero, you here to see me off? There you go, wagging your tail with that dumb look on your face. They got a pet dog named Nero. Very nice, very nice. You have no idea what's going on, do you? It wasn't just the two of us who made Castra Nostra our home base, though. There was one more, a stray black dog. I'm pretty sure it didn't actually have black fur, though. It was really, really dirty. Ah, of course he doesn't. He's a stupid animal. Oh, don't talk about him like that. He's one of us. What are you planning to do, Nero? Just leave him behind? Nothing else I can do. Can't bring a dog in the carriage. Besides, you're here. It'll be fine. You take care of Nero, alright? He doesn't like me. You're the only one who can take care of him. Maybe so, but I'm not coming back. He'll starve to death if you don't figure something out. He's a puny runt, so I doubt he could win in a fight for scraps. Come on, do it for me? Said he won't be coming back. You mean that? You have never returning to this town? Hope there's no telling what might happen. It's best not to get your hopes up. Better that than the pain of getting let down. Well, I've turned into quite the cynic. If I'd been born into a more normal family, I'd be in my room with a pile of dolls right about now, head in the clouds. Can't imagine you doing that, nor do I think that's normal. Said, well said. Stop that here. What is it? Come back. I don't care if you don't know when it'll be. Just don't say you'll never return. No one knows how things are gonna end up. Maybe my old man will gain more power, maybe yours will. If things continue as they are, it'll be your old man. Then down the line, I'll work in the service of the Campanella family. Just fine by me. But even if that's not the future that lies ahead, I promise I'll make a place for you. So Maria, question. You have a crush on me? What? Kidding, I'm just kidding. No need for a conniption fit. I was just playing around. Here I am trying to have a serious conversation and then you... Listen to me. I don't have any of those, feelings for you. Are you a lifelong friend? My one and only friend. That's why I came to see you off. That's why I'm telling you this now. Whether you're a girl or boy is irrelevant. Friendships last longer than something fanciful as romance. Am I wrong? Don't laugh, damn it. It's humiliating. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing because I agree entirely. Always been on the same page, Jacopo. Maybe we did fight a lot, but there wasn't one we did. No one else understood just how lonely it was, wearing a mask for all the other kids, trying to fit into their happy little circle. We can't afford to be found out after all. Neither of us had any real allies, except each other, of course. Nope. I'm glad I got the chance to play with you. If you hadn't been there, I probably wouldn't have bothered caring for Nero either. Too funny watching him chase you around. Sick girl, Marie. Hey, Jaco. This place will be called Castron Nostra, even if I leave, right? You won't do anything to it, will you? Of course not. This is our home. That was always the plan. Right. Thanks. You know, it's nice. You being nice is kind of creepy too, Jacopo. It's not going to start snowing, is it? Oh, rude. Well, if you're going to be like that, I'm not sure I want to give it to you. Give you what? A present? Should have said something sooner. Give me. You don't have a shred of tact, do you? What's the matter? What'd you bring? Let me have it, soldier. Maria, consider this a temporary parting gift. You've been wanting one of these for a while. Oh, was that a cartridge? From a Colt Navy? No, wait, did you swipe it? I'll probably catch hell for it, too. Wow, this is amazing. I always wanted to get my hands on the real thing. It's from the one hanging up in your house, right? The one your dad was bragging about? They just started selling them this year. It's ridiculously hard to get your hands on one, or so I heard. And guns from the New World or something else, alright? Just imagining the moment the hammer comes crashing down on the back of this sends chills down my spine. Are you sure you're a girl? Going crazy over a bullet cartridge? What's a big deal? You know what I like. I like what I like. You'll get in trouble if you don't put this back, though, won't you? Oh, don't worry. I'll return it when you return. And I won't tell anyone else I gave it to you. Okay? Well, I guess I'll take you up on that then. Thanks, Jacopo. It'll be my treasure. Goes without saying, but don't lose it. I'm giving it to you as a symbol of our friendship. No matter how far apart we may be, or how much time may pass, or how things play out with our families, we'll always be friends. Cartridge symbolizes that promise. It's a promise, Jacopo. Our families may outwardly hate each other, but I'll always be your friend. Always be on your side. Don't you ever go back on those words. I swear upon this glorious cartridge, this historic land, in the names of my ancestors, I shan't make myself a liar. Trust you, Maria. We'll meet again. Maybe many years from now, but that won't change a thing. Our friendship will never die. Never fade. You were adorable back then. And short to boot. Adorable and short. Lovely. But now you've hardened so much. I was flabbergasted when I next saw you. Dressed fancy from head to toe, you've become quite the smug little bastard, I thought. You sure weren't that little kid anymore? You've quite the memory. But yeah, I don't forget my promises. I'd never forget I said I'd always be on your side. The question is, did you remember? I did. I remember every word you said that day. And as I said, I left Casa Nostra as it was. But it is quite some distance away now. Imagine if we went back and did a bit of work on it, it would have it looking just like old times. Nero? About a year after you left, he suddenly disappeared. And for the record, I did take care of him, just as you told me to. I'm guessing he got in a fight with another stray or something. I searched, but I could never find him. Ah, well. It has been more than a decade. Not everything's gonna be exactly the same. You, whoever, haven't changed a bit from the girl you were all those years ago. Neither have you. Sure, you seem different on the outside, but at your core, I believe you haven't changed at all. Still the same old Jacob, you know? Did you not call me that? I've changed quite a bit, unlike you, and I'm well aware of it. Hey, Jacobo, do you consider me supportive? Of everything you could have said. Of course you are. You're constantly supporting me, past and present. You're proof of the existence of a kind of friendship that can transcend gender, blood, and any other such distinctions. You know, it's honestly kind of bizarre seeing you without a stick up your ass. Oh, harsh words. Oh, come on, now hear me. You almost had me blushing there. Anyway, before you put that stick back up there, let me tell you something. Am I still your only ally? You are. Of everyone in this mansion, I'm the only one. Yes. If she'd at least have a little more. Madam? I didn't actually intend to treat her like that. Believe me, Jacopo, I know. I mean, from a girl's perspective, what you did's pretty awful. But hey, I'm not a girl, according to you anyway. I'll always be on your side no matter what. God, I feel like I'm being consoled. Oh, that's what I was going for. I should never have opened up to you. Well, ah. Hey, now's probably not the best time to bring this up, but I have a letter. A letter? Written by the madam, here. A letter from my wife, let me see it. The hell am I reading? I was considering keeping it a secret, but having seen it, I thought hiding it from you might only hurt you more, so I decided it best to show you. Who is this? Who is this letter for? It's like, can't... I love you? Who is she writing to? I don't know this man. Take a deep breath, Jacobo, and listen to me. Madam is having an affair. Affair with her? With who? The person she imagines is you? Oh, looks like Maria's working against us. Haven't changed a bit. Madam is having an affair. Interesting. You seriously believe that? Then I've got news for you, pal. Anyone who acts exactly the same as they did in the past is doing just that, acting. Much like I do around you. Our friendship will never change? What a fucking joke. You picked the wrong girl to put your trust in, and they call you astute. Can you taste the fucking irony? Well, that just makes things easier for me. But my god, is it suffocating playing the good girl. That stupidly cheerful little ray of sunshine, Maria. Ugh, sickening. On the other hand, the payoff is fantastic. I can't stop. God, watching him lose his cool was incredible. I just hurt thinking about that. You're saying you're telling me she wrote this? Who else could have written it? It's in her handwriting. Why must she continue to betray me? Is she not taken enough already? What else could she possibly want from me? I told her to stay away from my gatherings. I had the rose garden torn down. Yet she still finds other men? I warned her. I told her it wouldn't happen again. If she betrayed me one more time, I'd kill her. Out of my way, Maria. I have to talk to her. Ask her what's in this letter. Who this man is. And depending on how she answers. Will the Jacobo calm down? Silence. How am I supposed to stay calm right now? Listen to me. Relax. You try to talk to her right now, you aren't going to get anywhere. You're just aware of how frenzied you are, aren't you? Besides, do you think she's going to tell you the truth even if you do manage to ask? Of course not. She may look all prim and proper, but that's not the real her. I don't think she's a bad person, but... Not a bad person. The woman who wrote this letter to another man, she crossed the line, you hear me? I agree with you there. She's gone too far with this letter. But remember, she's your wife and the daughter of a noble. You know exactly what'll happen if you lose control of yourself and do something to her. It's not gonna look good for you. She might be nobility, but I have the Casca. We have our own way of taking care of these kinds of problems. So it's plain to say it'll only make a bigger mess. No one else knows about this yet. Are you telling me to act like nothing's happening? When she so blatantly disrespects me? Jacobo, did you let me take care of it? I'm friends with the madam. You know that. You'll listen to me. I'll make sure it gets through to her. Just how much you care about her. I couldn't ask you. It'd be disgraceful. Nothing to be ashamed of. What did I tell you? I'm on your side. You're on mine. We're in this together. You can ask me things you couldn't ask others to do. I have tight lips. Anything you ask, I'll keep absolutely under wraps. Damn it. You're right. Yes, right. I'm well aware I always lose myself in her presence. If I try talking to her now, I probably will do something rash. Yes. I'll make sure everything works out. Got it? You and the madam can go back to the way things used to be. You don't have to suffer anymore. I'll take care of it. I'm the only one who understands your pain. And I'm the only one who can help you out of it. Maria. Oh, don't make that face, Jacobino. Thanks, Maria. Please let her know. Even if she's seeing other men. Even if she does silently mock me for not being of noble blood. I still love her. I don't want to raise my hand against her. So what does she tell the other person? You love her? That's a riot. You're too busy chasing your stacks of paper. You don't have what it takes to truly love a woman. I will say though, I'm surprised you lost your head that badly. What a little crush you've got on her. You could just sit down and talk to her like a rational human being, and presto, all your problems would be solved. But you can't even manage that, which is why you're in this predicament. Once you're convinced of something, Jacopo, you never let go of it. And she's too timid to speak up for herself. Sorry, madam. I got nothing against you. I just didn't expect things to go quite this well. There's no stopping now. Not when I've got this much momentum. Also, watching a pretty girl like you break down. I'm trying to figure out what Maria's actually achieving. Is she just hate, like, Jacopo's family? Like she's an agent of, another branch of the Italian mob? Is that, like, her goal right now? I feel like the twist was less shocking because they already had a twist. I was thinking that Maria was being like a little bit too weird with like the wanting to lick her fingers individually or something, and I was thinking like she was really trying to break up the two because she was gay or something. But I guess working for the mob also works. Like, but that was before we even had any evidence of the mob, so alright. So I guess the maid being the treacherous maid wasn't a surprise, but it was the reasoning that was changed. I guess I should have updated, like, mentally updated my theory, on like what the maid was, on like the maid's loyalties, I guess. All right, gives me the goosebumps. You're still convinced I'm the only person you can trust. I'm curious what the message is now. All right, how did he react to the letter? Well, yeah, about that. You gonna take it? Oh no, he took it, just, Don't feel too bad about this, madam. He said he's too busy with work, and tossed the letter aside. I told him to make sure he writes you a reply, but he hasn't gotten around to it at all. I see. That's a shame. Kills me to see you like this, madam. I don't get why he has to be so heartless. Not even taking a bit of time out of his day to read the letter you poured your soul into writing. Unacceptable. I'm sure he really is busy. Didn't throw it away though, did he? Imagine he means to read it when he has more time. But, madam, after everything he's done to you, you still think he means well? I have faith. My timing was poor, that's all. I believe in him. I believe the day will come when he gives me his attention again, as he did before. Madam, I ask you to believe with me, Maria? Maria? Well, technically if they're Italian, it should be Maria again, right? I know we're calling her Maria, but she's Italian, so it should be Maria, right? I'd have faith that he will once more show me his love. After all, the Ushiromiya's names were also intended to be Italian, right? Beatrice? Italian. I guess we could go to Maria. Alright. I have faith that he will once more show me his love and that mine will reach him. Something tells me it'll all work out if you pray for it. Yeah, okay, if you're fine with me praying, I'll pray. I'll get down on my knees for you, madam. I'll have faith. Thank you. I'd like to write another letter. When it's complete, can I ask you to deliver to him? I'll give him as many as you want. As many as it takes for you to get through to him. Really ought to learn not to be so trusting, madam. Take a real close look, and you'll see exactly who it was that ground your happy little life into dust. Thank you, Maria. Ha! I'm the reincarnation of the Mother of God. Oh god, I can't hold back the laughter. This is the stage of my own creation. We didn't have enough actors, so the playwright had to take on a role herself, but that only adds to the excitement. Yes, this is all my masterpiece. You're just ignorant puppets dancing to my tune. From the first shot to the last, blind to whose fingers sitting on the trigger. Again, listen to me, Jacopo, and try to keep your head. I saw them, madam. Meeting with another man behind your back, which is weird, considering she's locked in a room 24/7. You know where the arch? You know the arch in the rose garden? Far sides out of sight of the mansion, making it the perfect place to hide. I saw her back there. From the looks of it, the madam's having her meetings with one of the men who comes to your business gatherings. And they don't act like they're just friends, but to be clear, I don't have any solid proof. It would be best if you didn't mention this to her. Wouldn't want to start throwing accusations only to find it too late. It was all a big misunderstanding. I get down to the bottom of it, see you? I think the madam might have her eyes on several men. Being a woman, you know, I can tell these things. She's giving me these suggestive looks. But to who, I can't pinpoint. A lot of people come in and out of the house after all. You want to keep her from leaving her room? That might be for the best. So much going so well, it makes me think even God's on my side. They can just talk it over with one another. But they won't, and they're digging They're in deeper and deeper shipwreck. You're the only one I can trust, Maria. Timing that night. Oh my god, it was perfect. Hey, Jacobo. I could just be misreading her, but something seems off about the madam. Like she's been on edge or something. I tried to egg her into revealing what's going on, but she might be going out somewhere tonight. She's not going with you, is she? You're gonna survey a construction site today, right? I suggest you get that taken care of quickly. The dance at this town, right? So late. Oh, no loud music. Oh, he gets a little whistling courtesy of me. The room's too small for it. We'll use the Great Hall. Didn't that put us in everyone else's way? Would you probably complain about the noise? He complains about the noise. Like he's already like being an asshole for unrelated reasons. That's why I think Maria like might be pushing things to calamity. Like Maria's pushing things to calamity, but like he's already kind of an asshole on his own. He doesn't need Maria's prompting. She's just speeding things up, but she thinks she's being smart. No need to worry. Jacob's out expecting a factor or something. He's got a meeting. He'll be staying the night elsewhere. Thought you wouldn't be back till tomorrow. And how would you know that? Now forget that. Does my staying the night elsewhere have any effect on you? You're just waiting for this opportunity, weren't you? Obviously, because you lock her in her room all the time. So like, what? Wait, what are we changing? She's not allowed to leave her room most of the time. So yes, presumably him not being in town would allow her to leave her room, right? I don't even know what Jacopo's thinking most of the time. He's kind of dumb. I possibly want it. That's why I think he just wants her to be like a literal trophy. He's like Hassan's dog. Oh, look at that. Look at that. We're dating the time period this was made in. See? If they had shock collars back in his day, he'd probably do that too. He'd probably put one on her. Leave the house. Zap. Actually, you don't need to. You can set. I believe you can set shock collars to just trigger when something passes out of a certain distance. So zap every time she leaves her room. Yeah. What I possibly want you out of the house for? What would I want to go to the house for? I'm sure you know better than anyone. That smell. Perfume? When did you get perfume? I have to say you seem to be having quite the time. Look at you. Red as a beet. Made the right decision coming back. Where the hell were you going? Oh, this is my fault. I hadn't asked you to... Me bringing the perfume only made things worse. You need not feel bad about anything, Maria. Everything you did was in my best interests at heart. She doesn't even suspect me in the slightest. And I was able to put that perfume to great use. Well, you know what's funny? It wouldn't matter if she suspected her or not because she has the absolute trust and loyalty of the other guy. So even if she were to say something like, I think Maria's actively trying to sabotage our relationship, he'd be like, oh, I trust Maria more than anyone in this house, go fuck yourself. Like, it would not work. It would not work at all. So, weirdly enough, this story actually does not change. The story does not change if white-haired girl doesn't trust Maria. She just gets more depressed by having literally nobody around her that she trusts, that she can rely on. Right? The story does not actually change, which is kind of funny. They revealed that in a weird order because I think they're trying to make it look like it's really unfortunate that white-haired girl doesn't have any allies and that she's being fooled by it. But I'm like, how would she actually benefit? How would she actually benefit from anything so far if she didn't trust Maria? Just like, it's like a real question. Like, how would it be different? Because they already revealed that like she has the 100% perfect trust of the guy, and they're like childhood friends who swore an oath of friendship to each other, and like blah 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 blah. So I don't think her let's think about this. Let's think about this. Like, you marry into a guy's family that you've literally never met. You have literally no rapport with him, right? And you come to him and you're like, I'm pretty sure like this Maria chick is trying to sabotage our relationship. Like, let's assume she's omniscient, okay? She knows she can read minds and reads Maria's mind, okay? She knows everything about Maria, everything she's trying to do. And she says, look, I think your Maria is actively trying to sabotage our relationship, make my life hell, blah 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 blah. Like, this asshole would literally tell her to go. Like, he'd just tell her off, right? Like, he doesn't have the personality to do anything like that. He'd certainly not agree. He'd be like, oh, you're telling me my best friend hates me, is actively sabotaging me. Oh, we swear. I'm gonna go get her. Maria, what do you think? And Maria says no, and then he's like, all right, lady, you're going into the fucking prison cell. I'm gonna build you a cell, and you're just gonna stay there forever. Like, I don't see it changing, so. He probably screeches it. Like, let's say she just comes up, says it, or writes a letter saying such. I don't think it changes the story. So far, I'd say Red-Haired Girl doesn't have... Her only agency would be to change her personality completely. And have changed it earlier. And then maybe it would only be completely screwed. But could actually, like, dip out. Maybe she'd dip out of the marriage by, like, divorcing early. Going for an annulment. Alright. Money-sucking leech Tommaso also showed up at the perfect time, too. I'm pretty sure that's when Jacopo started getting actively violent. A jealous man's a wonderful thing, always imagining the worst and making matters worse for it. Oh, is that you, Tommaso? Been so long. What brings you here? Oh, looky who it is, Little Miss Campanella. That's a surprise. Didn't expect you to see you on this side of the Great Blue. You know, I've been giving Jacopo a hand. Well, color me impressed. After what happened, I wouldn't have thought you'd want nothing to do with him. Oh, that was between our parents. Jacopo didn't have anything to do with it. Well, sure, it would be nice for all the you younger generation to go through life without nothing to spark that kind of powder keg. Not that it's my place to talk. Oh, no need to worry about yourself. About any of that. What brings you here, Tommaso? Since they're a mob in the 1850s, these guys are like untouchable, right? They can do whatever they want anyway, right? Oh shit. A little you know how it is. Having a bit of trouble staying afloat. Oh, I see. So you're here to beg for offerings. Pretty shameless, Tommaso. No point having shame if they ain't making money. Toss that out with the chamber pot. Hell might think making things easier if I quit being human altogether. That hard for cash? Unfortunately, numbers are supposed to go up. For some reason, they ended up going down instead. Might be best if you kick that gambling habit. It's like telling me to go off myself. Oh, I bet. Say, Tommaso, maybe I could pitch in a bit too. Oh, you mean it? That'd be a huge help. Wait, there's seriously not a scrap of shame in you. However, in exchange, I'd like you to do something for me. Someone whose face needs a visit from my fists. Depending on the number, I could probably cut him into chunks and toss him into the ocean. Keep it clean. I'm not asking you to do anything like that. What is it then? Something a lowlife like me can do? Easy. Nothing bad either. You're gonna go talk to Jacopo, right? There's something I'd like you to tell him while you're at it. You know he's married, right? Get pretty nasty with his wife, though? Though, sounds like she's got it rough. She does, and she's religiously devoted to him, too. I've been trying to nudge things in the right direction to get her back on good terms with him, but I haven't had much luck. Ain't that something the two of them should work through? Well, yes, but it's reached a point I can't bear to sit back and watch anymore. I don't like seeing the two of them in pain. Well, I want to do something for them. How noble. You're pretty devoted to yourself, little lady. I'm not important right now. Just doing the right thing. The thing is, Jacob won't hear a word of it. And maybe you, being a man, might actually be able to get through to him a little better than me. Doubt he'll listen to me either, to be honest. Used to be really close, though. I doubt he hates you. Wouldn't be so sure about that. Anyway, talking's something anyone can do. What do you want me to tell him? Oh, just give him a bit of a scolding. Tell him the madam came to you asking for advice and that she actually let slip. The way he treats her day to day causes her some grief. I've never met this wife of his before, you know? It works better that way. She's so downtrodden, she can't talk to anyone about it. Now that maybe you being family might be able to help. Never met you, but she latched on to the ray of hope. Sure, when Jacobo finds she brought up with family, although we can't keep mistreating her. Thing is, things like this, they hit home harder than when they come from someone on the outside. You make it decent. Just remember, little lady, all I can do is bring it up to them. Can't guarantee it'll change nothing. That's all I need you. Note, she didn't actually say anything wrong here, right? She didn't say anything false here? Alright, one more thing. This is some perfume that's grown quite popular recently. Ask him to give it to the madam as a gift. He won't take it. You can give it to another woman, sell it, whatever you want. Perfume, eh? Very thoughtful of you. Women do like getting gifts like that. Big bad Jacopo gives her some of that. They'll be lovebirds again before you know it. Hear of it. Never thought the day would come I'd get to play Cupid. Now I'm starting to get kind of excited about this. They focus Tommaso with things. And you didn't hear any of this from me. I'm fine just pulling the strings from the shadows. Their relationship's a complete shambles. Jacopo still insists fucking loves her. And the madam says she still believes in him. Seriously, how stupid can you be? Poor Jacopo. Poor madame. Now let's see where this boulder rolls to rest. How far it keeps rolling. Naturally, I'll be nudging it along its way. Because after all, a play lives or dies by the director's hand. Drama. That's where we're at. Loads of drama. I'm not sure this is more or less interesting. A more or less interesting story than the first one. Master, are you shocked? Or do you instead lament this development? I was deep. I mean, I wasn't expecting her marriage to go well from minute one, so, I mean, this is whatever. Alright. Though to a lesser degree about Maria's true intention, the more my shameful inability to recognize her machinations. At the time I too believed Maria was the white-haired girl ally. It was not until everything had drawn to a close I discovered the truth. But then I now know how the tale ends. Yes, that's correct. Well aware that it was not the case, I told you the story in a way that suggested she was on the white girl's side. Oh, I wonder if that constitutes lying to you, Master. I merely wanted to present the events to you in order, starting from the beginning, with Maria's ill intentions were still veiled in shadow. I wanted you to know things as she experienced. I want you to know the same the same feeling of consternation I experienced, how she experienced. Alright, fair enough. The white-haired girl continued to write letter after letter. They were all addressed to her dear husband, detailing her ever-persistent love for him and her desire for their relationship to return to what it had once been. My beloved, I'm sure your hands are quite full right now. That's fine, it doesn't change my love for you. You remember the day we went out together? It was perhaps the most wonderful day of my life. I had a truly incredible time. I still treasure the gift. It is the one and only present I have received from you. She says like the whole year was great. It reminds me, Maria tried to teach me how to dance. I doubt I will ever progress beyond being laughably bad, though. It'd be nice if someday we could dance together. Perhaps when you have a little respite from work, we could go out again, maybe take a carriage somewhere a little further away. We could dine at a restaurant more to your liking. Though I think the cuisine at the other restaurant was exquisite, personally. Do I perhaps have an unrefined palate? Maria altered the letters before delivering them, however. She changed the addressee from Jacopo to another man. This man is too stupid to realize an entire message has been doctored and written by someone else. Or has been doctored, dude, this guy. Right? You'd cut away the top of the page with Jacopo's name on it, and in the space write a different name. Okay, wait. I was thinking she was editing it. I was like, okay, she must be playing like something. And I was like, he's kind of dumb to not notice that the handwriting's been changed. This is actually F tier competency. Can you imagine? Like, okay, I just want you to think for 2 seconds, all right? So, what, like, you write paper on 8.5 by 11 by default, right? So, just imagine, you get like, I don't know, you get a letter addressed to you, okay? You know what, we can even imagine this has been printed, because it still works. Just imagine you get a letter, and the top third of the page is missing. And, like, the rest of it just seems nicely formatted. You'd be like, what the hell? Why is there only 2/3 of a page here? Or even worse, because it's not actually in thirds. She probably cut off like the header. Like, how would you not notice that the 8.5 by 11 page was not the right size? Like, how do you not notice that like the paper is not the right size, right? Like, I'm so lost. Like, you would presumably, like, especially if this guy is like putting such serious like restrictions on her movement. Like, he probably even knows the size of the paper she's getting, and somehow is like not able to recognize that someone took scissors to the top of the paper. Okay, man, you don't even need to use like. I'm lost at how dumb that is, because like if I got a piece of paper that was the wrong, if I got a piece of paper that's the wrong size, I'm confused the second I pick it up, and I'm not using a tape measure, or like concerned about its authenticity. It's certainly not something dramatic. That's crazy. All right. Maybe it's written on like a notepad or something. Even then, like the notepad would be weird. Like if I wrote paper on it, if I wrote something on a notepad, you can't even rip the top off of that because the like empty little torn holes where all the ringlets were is gone, right? Or like if you tear it about the horizontal book and you tear the top off, that would mean there's only 2 holes in it. Or that like the holes are way too close to the edge. Like, I don't know, weird. Because paper is standardized. This is 1850s. Paper would be standardized. They do things like print newspapers in that era. So, like, he knows what a page of paper looks like. But alright. In the space below, write a different name. Sure. She could not have mimicked the white-haired girl's handwriting for the full length of the letter, but she could make a single name look adequately similar. And it would, after all, be quite difficult to notice minor discrepancies in such a small quantity of text. I think whatever. We'll let it pass, but it's silly. This isn't something that breaks the universe, you know? Again, another letter. Why does she keep writing these? To Jacopo's eyes, the modified letters looked like professions of love to another man. The more she inscribed her feelings for Jacopo, the greater the turmoil grew within his heart. Even though her love was directed towards him. Believe what I'm reading. A restaurant more to your liking. I knew it. And going out with other men, all while pretending to be chaste in my presence. I'm so confused, though. So, he has her literally confined to a single inescapable shed 24/7. And he's gotten like 100 letters. He's gotten like 100 letters detailing like all the fun stuff that they've been doing lately, and he's like, I'm so like, okay, I still treasure the gift you gave to me. God's sake, be kidding? Like, imagine, oh yeah, like another man. It's like imagine reading this, and you're like, it's like, oh, what was the name of the thing? I don't remember what it's called. We'll just say it was a cell phone. Screw it. It's like I still remember the cell phone you gave, and you're like another man gave her a cell phone. Another man took her to the nice photographer? That's my friend? And my friend never, like, how cope is he? How cope are you? She's only done like 3 things. She specified all of them? Or she can't leave that room. She'll never see this man again. In time she'll let go and so will he. Listen to me, resigning myself to the hope that everything will fix itself. How'd I end up like this? Such a pitiful man I've become. On the surface, Maria acted quite heartbroken at the sight of their suffering. When she returned to her room, the walls echoed with her cackles. She derived a great deal of entertainment from their squirming. The more they writhed in anguish, the deeper her satisfaction grew. Both the white-haired girl and Jacopo continued to place their confidence in Maria, the one responsible for everything. The white-haired girl had never possessed a sense of distrust, so took everything Maria said as truth, continuing in her agony to write Jacopo letters, letter after letter after letter. My beloved, are you still tied up with your work? It's been some time since we last saw another. I don't know what you've been doing as late. I only hope you remain in good health. I would, if possible, prefer to tell you everything in person, but I do not have the courage. These letters are my only option. Am I adequately expressing my feelings, my love for you? If you have the time, I'd appreciate a response. You're never going to get a response. Not as long as I'm intercepting them. No way I'm allowing these or your love to get to them. I could just stop reading them. It'd certainly make things easier. If I don't, my imagination will run wild. Fantasizing about her writing to this other man, what she might be putting in her correspondence. I'm better off knowing the truth than torturing myself with fantasy. Better option. He accepted every letter Maria delivered without fail. He'd merely nod as he accepted it, his face contorted in discomfort, then pore over the text when he was alone. I assume he didn't want her to see his heart sinking into darkness, and he put his trust in his wife rather than Maria. He'd almost certainly been able to realize the letters were directed at him despite the altered recipient name. Everything she wrote about him concerned him, after all. How could someone who lived an isolated life as her have so many identical experiences with 2 distinct men? That's what I'm confused about. It'd be one thing, like, it seems like it would be one thing if they were someone who had lots of guests over or lots of friends or were going places, but it's like this person literally can't leave the house. Hasn't been able to leave the house since you married her. And they've been like a literal prison cell the whole time. I don't understand where he's getting this idea from. I feel like parts of this would make more sense if they were someone who was more independent. But it seems very strange, seeing as they are very much not an independent person. Why could he not find it in himself to trust her? Perhaps doubting her was simply either, but perhaps having more than 2 experiences with your wife would also have helped you. If you were in his position, would you trust her? You maintain faith in her, the person who'd waited so long? You believe the feelings she professed for you were genuine? I think I'm saying, guy's a dumbass. But I also thought he was an asshole from day one, so I'm not really surprised just how things are going. So we even went back, and I was like, her memories of him being good, he is still a terrible person and a colossal asshole. So I think he'd 100% do this regardless of how much experience you actually have with him, but like, I don't think it matters. Dun, dun, dun. I thought he was like this from day one, so I'm not surprised when it's like day 20 and it's happened. He continued writing letters day after day, week after week, without hiatus. He had by and large run out of things to say, but that didn't put an end to her letter writing. She simply repeated what she had written before. Nevertheless, they did not see one another in person. The white-haired girl, forbidden from leaving her shed, could only wait for her husband to pay her a visit. There's a bit of fog out today. Weather like this reminds me of my home country. I was born on an island perpetually covered in thick fog. I'm not saying I'd like to return, but thinking about it does make me feel rather homesick. That happened to you? It reminds me, aside from that one time, you've not told me much of your homeland. It'd be nice if we could pay it a visit together sometime. Speaking of which, before I left, an exhibition of some sort was held there. I was unable to attend, perhaps. You had the chance when it was near. Imagine you would have with your interest in new technology. Next time you have a chance, I'd enjoy hearing what they had on display. Exhibition? Ah, that's right. There was one. Last year, got a bit of attention since it's supposed to have been held in Paris. I was busy preparing for our wedding. I had no time to attend an exhibition. While I was doing that, giving you a woman I'd never met before my full attention, or giving yours to a different man. Has this been going on for so long? Had he simply stepped up and taken action, he could have put an end to the string of letters, each of which gave rise to further misunderstanding. He even merely needed to ask the white-haired girl in person to whom the letters were addressed, whether what they described was true, and all the twisted threads of his confusion would have been unraveled. Dubious. He'd probably scream at her and then leave. But he made no such effort, instead relying on Maria to serve as his intermediary. I feel as though I have now, at long last, come to understand what kind of man Jacopo was. While he had a great deal of pride in his capabilities, he had far less confidence in himself as a person. Well, yeah, we knew that, because he's endlessly screaming about how she looks down on him because he's a noble, even though she's never given him any evidence of that. Like, he's not even subtle about this. If he had more faith in himself, perhaps he could have put faith in his wife as well. I'm surprised. Well, I guess she's not looking at it through a limited perspective of like 3 scenes. Presumably the maid is looking at it through like several years, like a year or so, or 2 years-ish. So, but like for us, it's very obvious, right? Like, okay, this guy's like done this like 3 times. He's worried about how she looks down on him because he's not a noble or something. He's clearly like super insecure about literally everything. He's about as controlling as humanly possible. Like, in the first scene she's introduced, when she's like delivering tea and he's like screaming at her, he's being super controlling. He's being super controlling because he's insecure with himself and needs to feel like he's in charge and can be the boss man or whatever, right? Like, you know, needs to feel like he's better than her. Like, everything he's done is because he's got that little dick energy. Like, this stuff is really obvious, but alright. Had his pride not been so twisted, perhaps he would not have been so afraid of being hurt. Indeed, he was afraid of being rejected by her, afraid to face a reality where his beloved partner scorned him. Me just sitting here thinking, at what point did he actually show any love? But okay. He bought a present for his wife for their wedding. Okay, and he took her out to dinner. Okay, very, very dramatic, and then they've done nothing since then. Wow, fantastic. And then it's been confined to your room 24/7, don't leave, don't ever come see me, blah blah blah, until she gets thrown in her jail cell. Oh, and she's allowed to attend to the rose garden. That's the only thing she's allowed to do in the house. And he has the maids hating on her and doesn't care, right? He insults her and the maids disrespect her and treat her like garbage. So he's having the maids bully her too. I don't even know at what point, like we don't have to go far back to be like, is this guy an asshole? The maids are all bullying her, okay, because he treats her like dog shit. So he should know something's up and notice. I feel like that's fair. At the very least, you'd be like, wow, this is a weird number of instances of like my wife being injured by the maids, or my wife cleaning things up by herself, and the maids just watching around like, yeah, okay. Alright, where the woman he loved laughed at him disdainfully, where she can't count with others. Mocked him, the thought of it paralyzed him. See? Little dick energy. The environment in which he'd been raised played a significant part in his state of mind, I expect. Occasionally, the name of the letter on the letter would change. Maria was making the white-haired girl out to be having affairs with multiple other men. He can never do such thing, of course, but Jacobo, thinking Maria to be his only ally, believed everything she said. If I could figure out who this man is, where he resides, I could make him tell me every last detail about his relations with my wife. But what if the information went public as a result? If news of her infidelity spread, to reach the Casca. Fate of the Berzottis is in your hands, son. There's a limit to what we can accomplish on this tiny island. If we don't turn our attention outwards, we'll wither away and die. Not just this family, the whole island will find itself famished and emaciated, defenseless against invasion as we waste away. I won't stand by and watch my homeland crumble. Sure, our methods may be crude and not always worthy of praise. They produce undeniable results. The unfortunate thing is, the previous Capo Familia was an incredibly reticent man. All he had to merely preserve his small chunk of the world. I'm not like that, and neither are you. The most I can do is lay the foundation to make it easier for you to work, which means everything rests on your shoulders. Both the future of the Berzotti family and the future of this country. It all falls on you. Marriage is happening too quickly. It'd be madness not to hurry given the circumstances. You should be well aware of that. We need the Berzotti's name climbing to the social ladder in short order, or we're gonna have everything ripped out from under us. If the woman isn't to your liking, find another one that is. She's gonna be your wife in... Only are gonna be your wife in name. Listen to me, son. You must not allow her to fool around. What are the most vital things to have in our society? Money? Power? Yes, those are important. What matters most is respect. No one's gonna follow a Capo Familia they can't respect. They'll try to undermine your authority. Once someone deems you weaker than them, courtesy goes out the window, and that's a judgment that's near impossible to overturn. Betrayal spreads like a fire through a forest. Once that flame's lit, the both of us come crashing down. You mustn't let anyone look down on you. You must not let anyone think you're the kind of man a woman can walk all over. If by any chance your fiancé is ever unfaithful to you, kill her before anyone finds out. Your place is above others. Climb to the top. Never be content with someone above you, and never forget the weight you carry on your shoulders. It's your responsibility. The fate of the Berzotti is... I'm not going to do an Italian accent, sorry. But these are all Italian gangsters, by the way. If you're wondering, this is 1850s. They're all Italian gangsters. I must keep accepting her letters. I must keep her locked up. You'll have work to do. Allow anyone to learn about how she disgraced me. Kill her. That's how my old man says to handle it. The last resort. It's not yet. Downright wrong for me to even be having these feelings for someone. Master, your carriage is waiting outside. How are you coming along? Way along? Oh, that's right. I had an inspection scheduled today. We'll be right out. Have him wait. Nothing the matter, Master. You look a little hazy. Fine. Feeling well, you should stay. Then I'm fine. Not your job to try and interfere and invert my condition. Keep it under wrap. Act like normal. You can at least do that much, damn. Take care on your trip, Master. Not the usual coachman. I feel like I've seen him somewhere. Your fault. What? Hey, speak up. Die, Jacopo Berzotti. Master? There's a knife in your stomach. Oh god, someone, anyone. Don't make a scene. Call a doctor. I remember where I've seen him before. That's right, I put his factory out of business. I needed out of the picture to expand my own business. Oh, because he held a grudge about that. Should have been more careful. Blood flows with surprising abundance from a stab wound. Not stopping either. Son of a bit. World's going white. Come on now. Kidding. It'd be funny if she writes that, like, oh, I heard you recently got stabbed. I hope you're doing it right. And he's like, how dare you? That'd be funny. I know very well what kind of man you would hesitate to lead a blind man off a cliff. If it furthered your own goals, you make money off others' lives, you stand up on a mountain of corpses, cackling at everyone below you. For a man like you, love comes as naturally as flying. Guess what? You don't have any emotions. You never have. Always been this way. That's Mr. Bearzotti for. Likes things. He likes things, not people. And treats people like things. My childhood was day after day of mockery. You're just a bunch of nobodies trying to pretend your name means anything. I would say, sneering and glaring. Maria treated me as an equal, but she was the only one. I wanted to show them up. I had to rise to the top. Or at least high enough I could laugh at them. My old man wasn't the only one who wanted that. I did too. I had to make them acknowledge that I had value as a man who actually go through life being laughed at, right? I had to make them recognize that what I did had value. I needed neither love nor compassion to do it, or that's what I thought. In the beginning, I only ever intended to use that woman. I simply needed her to build a name for myself. When she served her purpose, I could simply cast her aside. That's what I thought. Or rather, that's what I endeavored to make myself think, but deep down I felt bad for her. I pitied this woman who was being made to marry a man she never met before. I'm sure what she really wanted was to have a regular marriage with someone she loved. Because her family wanted her to cling to their name, she wasn't afforded that opportunity. I wanted to do something for her. It didn't have to be anything grand. I genuinely wanted that. The day of our wedding, when I first saw her, her face, partially obscured behind the veil, was gorgeous. Crucially, she was smiling at me. I expected to find only gloom and despondency in her eyes, but instead she smiled. The moment I saw that smile, I wanted it to be a permanent part of my life. I truly did. I want to ensure that she always had a smile on her face. And thus I only ever interacted with her on our wedding day and never again. Okay. He's getting roasted for that endlessly, by the way, because he hasn't been good on any day. Is this my room? I'm alive? Damn it. I feel nauseous. What time is it? The world's a blur. So hot. Get up. The doctor said bacteria entered your body through the window. Because of that, you have a very high fever. What are you doing here? I was told you've been badly wounded. Thankfully, it was... Get out of... Pardon? Oh, Maria opened... Would you like some medicine to help you feel better? No. Stay by my side for... Is there anything I can do? You can ask me anything. My hand. You hold my hand? I don't want to. That's... Your hand is quite... Probably feels that way because of your fever. So, I've done some regrettable things to you. Please forgive me. I'll tell you the truth, from the moment I first saw you, I felt like you were what I had been searching for my whole life. Laugh if you'd like. I felt like I'd finally found you. But I couldn't act around the way I honestly felt. Get some sleep. Keep holding my hand till I fall asleep. You don't want it, that hand is in. Thank you. You appear to be quite delirious, Master. Those are things you should be telling your wife, not me. Of course it was. Couldn't be that. She'd never come to my room. She's involved with other... You mean she's in a prison cell? She can't leave. Jacob, may I come in? I have another letter. I wonder if she gets the intel he's been stabbed or not. That'd be funny. White-haired girl's persistent language did not improve anything, but simply stoked the flames of misunderstanding. This continued for several months. Though outside the sun shone with the gentle warmth of spring, the cold, bitter winds of winter still relentlessly blew between Jacopo and his wife. Not allowed to leave her shed, never receiving a reply to her letters, the white-haired girl's only source of information was Maria. Week after week, her circumstances remained the same, but something else was beginning to show signs of change. Her mental state. Pointless, ma'am. You're only wasting your time at this point. I saw him throw your letter into the fireplace. He's not going to read anything you write, no matter how much of your soul you pour into it. He cares more about money and work than love. The kind of man he is. Give up and file for divorce already. I'll get through to him. Everything will be back to normal. I have faith. All my letters may go up in flames, but my faith will not be lost with them. As long as I keep writing, eventually I will get through to him. I cannot stop. You have any idea what it says about you, ma'am? Yakubo doesn't trust you in the slightest. He goes around calling you a witch, a man-eating devil woman. It's awful. There's no one as pure and beautiful as you. Guess I'm a witch. Listen to me, ma'am. He never for a second actually loved you. He just wanted the influence attached to your name. Wanted to mingle with the upper class. He used you. Last year when we went out together, he gave me the Finacus wheel at the photography show. He had the owner make it especially for me. He's a rich guy. I mean, is this even questionable? He's a rich guy. Commissioning like rare items is not hard. That's like the gemstone. It's just like standard stuff you do. Shit, they probably didn't cost that much to make it. He asked a friend to make something. A friend whose business he patronizes on a regular basis. He's trying to. Dude, I'm actually on Maria's side on this. That's like the weakest argument for someone actually liking you. Shit, man. I've ordered commissions for other people before. That's not that crazy. That's not that crazy. They weren't my wife, so yeah. Favorite who really cared for you, gotten you a paper toy. He'd have gotten you something like a ring or a necklace or some perfume or a nice drink. He hates perfume. He attacks her for having perfume. Why would he have perfume? Note, in his inclusion of everything, he didn't include perfume for her, right? At any point? Because she said she explicitly did not own any perfume. As she was worried it would offend him, so I don't think he's gotten perfume. Nothing women. He ever given you anything like that? Doesn't have any feeling. I'm sorry, I just couldn't stand to see you going through this. I don't know where to shut my fat trap. Last thing I need to be doing is hurting you worse. You know, for everything I've said, your unwavering dedication is really impressive, ma'am. I know I've suggested you get a divorce, but to be honest, part of me doesn't actually want you to split up. Quite knowing you staying with him is causing you pain. Made it this far, I'd like to see you make it all the way. Maybe he actually will start paying attention. He's like coping so hard on the first day they met. It's so weird. Your sweetness can melt even his hard to steal. And the first day wasn't even good by like date standards. like I'm pretty sure if you went on a date, if you went on a date with a woman, just like a regular date, not even like a honeymoon, and what you did was you went to a photography shop you own. You went to a photography shop you own and showed off like or like a store you own and showed off something while you were doing business. Then went to a restaurant, got all over the waiters, the food, everything there, and then went home. You probably wouldn't get anywhere unless you had like godlike charisma, right? Because they'd be like, "You're a terrible person." These aren't. It's like, really, like just the dinner would have like probably ruined it for most people. So I think it's kind of funny that she's coping this hard on literally one day. Where, in my opinion, he was kind of a trashy person in the first place. Waiting. Writing and not divorce him? Alright, so please keep delivering my letters to him. Like, my impression was that he was, like, only doing those things out of obligation on the day we met him. Alright. Delivering my letters. My only remaining connection to the outside world. Oh yeah, and one more thing. If it's not too much trouble, could you tell me how he's been and what he's been doing? Oh, I don't have much else to write about. At least relieve him of some of his work-related stress. I'm his wife, after all. Should be able to do that much for him. Her dedication to him was perhaps closer to an obsession. She didn't seem to be conscientious of the fact that her obsession was killing her. She was visibly losing weight and her spirit was breaking down. It's said that emotions fade with time, but the opposite can be true. The act of waiting, of fervently believing for so many months despite the object of one's affections not returning them, can tear apart a person's heart, crush their soul, and shatter their spirit. No matter how radiant, how thick-skinned they may be, with enough time it will wear anyone down. No one's immune. Now I'm feeling personally attacked. Pointless, Jake. Wait all you won't get her back. She's going to be writing letters, she could at least write one for you. She looks so pure, pretty as an angel, but God Almighty, it's only how she looks. Changed a bit. Have I? The old you would be yelling and screaming, chomping at the bit to go storming in on the man. But now you just go quiet. Just tired. You break it off then? You've already made a name for yourself in high society. Nobody's gonna suddenly start ignoring you. More than put her family name to good use. Put it in your own words, it's no longer necessary. Not something I really want to say, but Madam has never liked you. Married off to a total stranger and forced to leave her home. Sure, she felt very alone. Though she sought the companionship of other men. Anyone who wasn't you probably seemed quite attractive to you. Without getting violent or threatening to kill her or anything. Did already. Quietly and without a fuss. It'll be easier for you that way. Cannot. Because you still love her. Wonderful, Jacobo. And if after everything you still love her. It's just blind slavish devotion at this point. Perhaps it's a foolish, unhealthy obsession, but I still don't wish to sever ties with her. Still can't get the image of her smile out of my head. Look of utter elation on her face when she looked through the next scope. Finished kiss to scope. Captivating eyes beneath the veil of our wedding. Never for as long as I live forget those sights. Will be surprised. You're real sentimental. Well, I guess you've always been kind of mushy. True to your heart, despite how you may look. Not a bad thing, though, in my book. There's nothing but pain in it for you now. All you can do is wait until she's broken. Don't worry, you need to let off some steam. All year. I'll be here for you until she breaks it off with other men. I'm confused how he thinks she's still having a relationship with any of these people. When she's like literally... They said several months, or like she spent more time in a literal prison cell doing nothing. With no contact with anyone. Then, she's done like 7 months, so like... She almost spent more time in the prison cell he made. Than anywhere else. I feel like Jacopo is just like the most smooth rain. Bros playing Peak. Yeah, we're playing through House in Fata Morgana. It's alright so far. It's alright so far. It wasn't what I was expecting. Since all the stories are like completely, more or less completely disconnected. It's very episodic. That will not be necessary. I know very well that things cannot continue on as they are forever. I knew it from the beginning and still couldn't do anything. Oh, they are episodic. Not completely disconnected. I'm planning on facing her myself. Curious, Jacob? I relied on you for too long. I was afraid of what I might do to her. I didn't want anyone to find out my wife was being unfaithful. I thought the best way to ensure that was by locking her up away from me. The situation is not going to improve unless I do something. If I allow things to continue as they are, sooner or later the word of infidelity will leave. Before that happens, I must face her myself. I must do something. Probably best if you didn't. I'll tell her anything you want. Make sure things start improving. I appreciate everything you've done. I apologize for getting you involved in our troubles. But I'm going to end it now. I must put an end to it. Problem between me and her. You might get violent again if you go see her face to face. I might do something that would look rather bad for me. It's reached a point where until the two of us face up each other, it's never going to go away. It took me far too long. I wasted too much time trying to find my resolve. You need a way to break the ice then? Break the ice? Right. Got some convenient excuse to talk to her. It'll reduce some tension and make things easy to bring up, right? Here's an idea. A transcontinental railroad you've been funding. It's supposed to be opening up pretty soon, isn't it? There'll be a message by telegraph when it happens, right? You can ask her to be there to hear it. You can invite her to ride the first train. Put your heart and soul into this project. It's finally being realized. It's going to be an amazing day for you, and a day like that, ripe for more good things to happen. It's going to be the accomplishment of a lifetime. Don't look down on it. Sending massive trains across this massive continent, carrying them on. carrying on them the people of this country's dreams. Railway? In North America. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. This man's coping. This man is coping. America is a car world. Oh, it's okay. Chapter 4 will probably be set in 2000. Oh. Who says you can't stick a drone on it? Right. Railroad that spans coast to coast. This sickly girl that makes long trips to. New rail system should make the Muslim much less straining. Allow me to show her the world. That's perfect. I'm getting excited myself. I'll go great. It'll go great. I'm sure of it. Right. Okay. Oh my god, my fucking size. They're a goddamn riot. The both of them. They keep on trusting me. They keep on getting hurt. They don't have to be going through any of this. My god, Maria, you're terrible. You'll call me the Holy Mother? I bet the real Mary is rolling in her fucking grave. Oh, now. Must say I wasn't expecting you to make a move, Jacopo. A shame that. Squirming loser, paralyzed by insecurity is a better role for you. They do end up figuring it out though, tough shit. Doesn't hurt anything, just takes away a bit of my fun. I don't understand why he's so infatuated with this railroad. I mean, I do sort of get romanticizing steel, but my steel is kind of a little smaller scale. Anyway, I suppose it's about time to get things moving. Well, no matter how this plays out, it won't have a happy ending, Jacopo. You're gonna get a real taste of how much I despise you. Maria, Maria! Oh, there you are. What is it? I'm on break right now. You were assigned to clean the cellar today, weren't you? Well, head maid's saying it hasn't been done yet. I did, I cleaned it. Casual once over, but hey. I'll do it again? Do it right this time. If you don't, it's gonna fall on me. Oh, and that's supposed to make me give it down. I mean, you take care of it. You get enough special treatment as is. Right, right. Okay, I heard you first time. I'll take care of it. Don't you forget it. I have to be the one to tell it. You gone? What a pain. Who cares if the damn cellar's clean? Not like anyone's bringing guests down there. Yeesh. Guess I should take care of it. I should take care of it. Better than tongue lashing by the head maid. But I have to be a maid, eh? What a dank place. So dark and humid down here. It makes me feel gross. Someone there? Hello? Hello? Is anyone there? Came from further in. Seriously dusty back here. Who was supposed to clean this last week? Oh, clean the whole thing next time. Damn it. Makes my job harder. Dusty. Cobwebs. Oh god. I do not want to clean this. Wasn't this supposed to be done weekly? Who the hell's screwing up this badly? It's been a week. Oh, for God's sake. Stack this stuff properly. I gotta fix this whole mess. For the love of... What's this? Something carved into the floor? Never noticed this before. Someone get bored one day? What do we have here? It's mostly illegible. Let's see. Not written in English, but my native language. It's not modern. It's really archaic. Why on earth would an old form of my country's language be carved into the floor of a mansion built here in the New World? Most of it's illegible, but I can make out one section. Our lives shall be forfeit to the witch's curse. Nevertheless, we must lay bare with the... Sorry. Our lives shall be forfeit to the witch's curse. Nevertheless, we must lay bare those with sin upon their souls for the redemption of those whom are pure. Should ye mean not to dispel your curse, we implore you, O witch. Mark with it only their bloodlines. The blood of the sinners flows through those who dwelt within this house. But not I. A witch? That's crazy. Crazy. But why? Why is the handwriting like mine? Coincidentally similar. Blood of the sinners flows through those who dwelt within the house, but not I. No one's handwriting is perfectly unique after all. Why am I so sweaty? It's not that hot down here. Nope, forget it. Didn't see a thing. Not a chance it's real. It's a tasteless prank. Silly. Something in this box? Is that a painting? Has that always been here? White hair, fair skin. Is this the madam? But then, why is the face all torn up? The clothes look really old-fashioned. The painting seems worn and faded. Something about it feels odd. I'm not sure how to describe it. It's very unsettling. Writing on the floor in this painting. Gross. Just a painting. Nothing to get weirded out over. Bet I know what happened. Jacobo probably slashed it up in a fit of jealousy. He is a simple man. Seeing this probably wouldn't put him in the best mood. What was that? Is someone there? Door open? Nobody's there? Is this a painting? Who could have left it here? Did like randomly left the painting there? That me? Why, but has this been cut? No. Why? Why would someone have this painting? Just to do this? Who would do such a thing? Like a witch, my dear, like a demon. Your very presence brings misfortune upon others. Your curse. No, I'm not. I'm not. Was it you, Jacopo? Did you have this painted so you destroy it? Did you really despise me to that extent? Why? What did I ever do to make you hate me so? Why? All I'm doing, waiting for you. Worthless tramp. Are those ears only for show? This house has no need of a garden. I always thought you had at least some sense of taste. Silence, it's all your fault, every last thing. Say goodbye to your freedom, I'll kill you. Mere act of waiting impose upon you. My mere presence pervert you. Would it be better if I were gone? Would it be better if I left this mansion? I left you. I don't think I can wait much longer. No end in sight. Can't take it any. I'll set a deadline. When I give up waiting. And the project you pour your whole heart and soul into is complete. When the railroad opens, I'll be finished waiting. Then it's over. Pacific Railroad's last spike ceremony was drawing nearer by the day. The day was coincidentally the deadline the two of them had set for themselves, Jacopo to confront his wife and the white-haired girl to wait for him. As that day approached, she continued to write letters. So far, the only thing I'm getting from this story is that it is apparently appropriate to imprison someone in like a 5x5 cell for like a year plus, while deciding whether or not to talk to them. And that is the writer's opinion. That is a sane thing to do. But they're the mob, so it doesn't really matter whether or not they do it. They won't get in trouble. They approached, she continued to write letters. She wrote letters purely by force of habit, despite having been worn visibly thin. I wonder what... Well, I guess she's not contacting her parents at any point ever, so I guess they're not surprised. Whatever, I don't know. She wrote letters purely by force of habit, despite having been worn visibly thin. I suspect she could not stop. The act of writing was all that kept her from going mad. By focusing her attention on another person through her letters, she was able to maintain her grip on herself. That day would put an end to her suffering and despair. When the railroad was completed, all their misunderstandings would be cleared up. They'd return to the smiling, happy couple they'd been when they were first married. The harsh winter would finally come to a close, melting away the past and allowing them to step into the future. With constant prayer in my heart, I impatiently awaited the railroad's opening ceremony. I don't, after all, wish for anyone to fall into any kind of misfortune. And that goes for you. Now, Master. The door is soon to be shut upon this era. Are you prepared to see what happens now? I see. Very well. Allow us to make our way to that final day. See with your own eyes, Master, how this tale concludes. Will we see how the tale concludes? Does it matter? Go my hand. The night before the opening ceremony, Master of the house headed for his wife's shed. There was a tension on his face, but a surety in his step. He'd found the resolve to speak with her. Having locked her away for so long in the shed like a common prisoner, Jacopo was hardly optimistic about what she might say to him. He'd undeniably mistreated her, said heartless, cruel things to her, and even gotten physically violent with her. His actions were inexcusable even if they were in response to her infidelity. Of course, the very infidelity which had driven him to such behavior had not in fact taken place, but he was unaware of that. There was a chance they'd never reconcile their misunderstandings and that this predicament would not have a positive resolution. But he still clung to a tiny fragment of hope. He wanted to start over with the white-haired girl to make a new future with her. With that desire burning strong in his heart, he stood before the door to her shed and called out to her. Are you awake? It's me, Jacob. May I come in? I won't hurt you. I won't raise my hand against you again. Where I will do you no harm. I just wish to speak. I'd like to have a calm, rational conversation. And as such, I will not enter the room until you've given me your permission. Wow, it's for the first time he's ever respected literally any boundary in this relationship. Amazing. So may I please come in? You would give me a response. Alright. Considering how you must feel about me, I shouldn't be surprised. Fine, you don't have to let me in. Please at least hear me out. You remember the day shortly after we met, when we went on our honeymoon, if you can call the little walk we took a honeymoon? I wasn't able to do anything nice for you then either. I had no experience, no idea how to interact with an upper-class woman like you. I didn't know what I should do for you. Yes, I know this makes me sound juvenile. I have a tendency to say things I don't mean, the more perturbed I get. I said things to hurt you numerous times that day. However, at the photography shop, when you saw the phenakistic scope, you smiled through me. I was genuinely pleased in that moment. I felt I had gotten closer to you. I'm wondering if she's already dead, by the way. I wonder if she offed herself or something. I felt I'd gotten closer to you. I very much doubt that was actually an appropriate present for a noble woman like yourself. Or is she, like, shocked? I don't know. Jewels or flowers or something like that. Something beautiful would have certainly suited you better. I knew that. I assumed you would have been given gifts like that countless times in the past. You are, after all, a beautiful woman. I didn't want to have to compete on the same field as those other men. I wanted to be special. I wanted to be unique to you. No one had ever shown you anything of that sort before, had they? Frankly, I wasn't sure if a woman of your status would take any interest in a phenakistoscope at all. Or maybe she left to get her divorce papers. Well, maybe it's not that. Yeah, let's go with that. She left to get her divorce papers, guys. I imagine you've thrown it out by now, but I choose to believe you sincerely liked it on that day. If just for a moment I caught your eye. Even if you started seeing other men afterwards, the moment was real, right? Our marriage was at its core nothing but an arrangement between our parents in exchange of money and influence. How it began, but that day I loved you. I yearned to see that smile, as if I'd loved you my entire life. Pacific Railroad's finally been completed. That's a project I've been funding. Everyone thought it was crazy, but a railroad now stretches across the breadth of this country. A joining ceremony will be held tomorrow. It's going to be a grand event. Locally, they're planning on doing a gun salute. The sound of the last spike being driven into the ground will be transmitted across the country via telegraph. I procured a telegraph so we can listen to it here in the mansion. In your condition, you'd probably have trouble handling the crowds at the telegraph station. Here, you could celebrate in the comfort of your own home. I suppose what I'm saying is, I want to celebrate this with you. I've made arrangements to make it possible for you, because I wish to have you there with me. The prison cell for your birthday. Prison cell for Christmas. Because this happened... Actually, I don't know when. Didn't make assumptions about that. Prison cell for Christmas. Prison cell for your birthday. Prison cell for New Year's. But for the project I'm completing, you can come out because I'm inviting 10 friends over. That's the vibe I'm getting. He's like, I gotta look cool. That's 100% what his vibe looks like, right? He's like, oh, I got a wife. I gotta bring her out here. I'm gonna have like 20 friends over for this big ass party celebrating the completion of my major project. And if you're not there, people are gonna ask questions. So, I mean, no one's asked questions in the last 9 months, but this is big enough that people will ask questions like, how sick is she really? Would you be willing tomorrow to complete the completion of the Pacific Railroad with me? Would you be there at my side? Please, say something. I want to start over. I know very well what I've done to you. You can't fault yourself, but what I did's unacceptable. But what I did was a consequence of my overpowering love for you. I swear it. Why will you not answer me? Say something. Anything. Please. Please. You can hear me in there, can't you? You don't want to, just say no. If you do reject me, I'll set you free. I won't hurt you, I promise. The door? It's not locked. Who opened it? Hello? A humid spring breeze brushed across his cheeks. Oh, no. The drawn lace curtains appeared to glow in the gentle moonlight. The white-haired girl was not in her room. Where have you go? Stupefied, he glanced about his wife's chambers. To my eyes, the neatly organized room appeared no different than any other day, but to his eyes it was pale and hollow, for the one who was supposed to be there, who was supposed to be waiting for him, was not present. He could not hear her voice from anywhere in the shed. In his place echoed a dry rustling, a sad, pitiful, empty whisper of a noise. Came from the lone object left abandoned atop her desk. Fennecy's. It was the one present Jacopo had ever given the white-haired girl, a toy made of paper. And spun and viewed in a mirror, it created the illusion of a man and woman dancing. The white girl had evidently made considerable use of the phenakistoscope. The paper was visibly worn and tattered, warped in places, and had even begun to yellow. It spun slowly in the wind, rustling and rustling. Spinning in an endless reminder of the day that year before, though there was no longer anyone around to look through it. Why would you keep something I gave you? It's so... A letter. Beneath the ever-rotating phenakistoscope lay a single sheet of paper. As if drawn to it, he scanned the contents of the parchment. It was a letter addressed to Caro mio Jacopo, the salutation written in his native language, translated as follows. My beloved Jacopo, the fruits of your dream turn out as you had hoped. I'm sure it was wonderful and impressively fast. A brain that can travel across a continent as large as this is like a story. I wish I could have been there to see it. I'm sure it would have been quite pleasant, like the day you gave me the finicky switch. Am I being presumptuous? Sorry, I'm sorry. I thought I could keep waiting for you forever, no matter how much you hated or ignored me. But I made up my mind, so I'm sorry. I decided I'd wait for you until the railroad was completed. I foolishly thought you might invite me to the opening ceremony. It seems I'm not good enough for you. I'm going to take my leave of your house. You needn't concern yourself with me any longer. However, I do have one request. Please do not forget about the letters, all the letters I wrote. Think back on them from time to time and burn them all, for they contain my thoughts, my feelings, my words, a record of my love for you. Remember when you can that I was always watching you. Sorry, I'm having trouble writing. My ears are ringing. There's a voice whispering to me, calling me a witch. Maybe it's your voice. My vision is blurry. I'm not even sure what is going through my mind. I'm sorry, this was all I was able to write for you. Truly sorry, I'll leave the Fennecy's will behind. It was my dearest treasure. Farewell, I loved you. 5/8/1869. Did we read that as day, month? Or no, they're American. It's gonna be day, month, right? The hell is this? He was visibly rattled. And unsurprisingly so. Mention of the Transcontinental Railroad's opening ceremony, the letters she had written, her dearest treasure, her profession of love for him, and above all, the mangled text that appears to have been written by someone not entirely in their right mind. Everything about it served to amplify his befuddlement. Waited for? How can that be? The joining ceremony's tomorrow. Hasn't happened yet. Why did you have to leave then? I'm here. I came for you just as planned. Ceremony's on the 10th. A second later, he gasped. The date written on the letter was the day prior, May 8th. Originally, the ceremony was planned to be held on the 8th, 1869. However, due to bad weather and a labor dispute, it had been postponed for 2 days. I made sure you were informed. And Maria? Adam's having an affair. Maria, no, you couldn't. Scattered fragments of memory began coming together in his mind. Maria was the only one who informed him of his wife's supposed unfaithfulness, and through the letters that had been addressed to him. Back on it, they'd all been about him. In one letter, she'd mentioned treasuring a gift. Jacopo assumed it meant a gift from another man, but in fact, she'd been referring to the phenakistoscope sitting atop the desk, still spitting in the wind. At long last, he finally made that connection. At the same time, he realized the only person who could have altered the letters was someone they both trusted, Maria. She never even was. She was not unfaithful at all. Waited unwaveringly for me. I refused to believe her. I caused her pain again and again. But his realizations came far too late. The white-haired girl's spirit had broken, and she was no longer at the mansion. Had he caught on to Maria's machinations later, things would not have turned out as they had, but he was much too late. Maria, why? Why would you do this? Letting the letter from his wife, Jacopo stormed out of the shed in search of Maria. But she was not in the room assigned to her. Where are you? Where have you gone? Maria! Several maids roused from their slumber by the racket, but none had the courage to speak up to the master of the house, frantically charging through the halls. Eventually he arrived at his own chamber. He was certain he'd closed the door before leaving, but now a sliver of light shone through the gap between it and the frame. From within the room he thought he could sense someone's presence. When he opened the door, there he saw, comfortably perched on his own chair, a woman. I've been waiting, Jacopo. Damn, that makeup look makes her look hideous. I'm sorry, her eye, there's too much pink there. Pink and yellow, Nice room you got here. So I guess that's only natural, you being the man of the house and all. All these fancy furnishings. You do know this stuff's too good for you, right? And then me. I got that barren little maid's room. Press me up the wall. So hey, Jacobo. Clear the air with your little lady yet? Oh, I love that look on your face. I'm guessing you didn't make things better then. You know, good and well. She's not even here anymore. Yeah, but I still want to hear you say it, you know? I want to hear from your own mouth. You couldn't keep a leash on your woman, so you locked her up, drove her mad, broke her down, and then she ran away from you. Go on, say something. Climb back on your high horse and start shouting like you always do. Why, Maria? Why would you do it? Why? Why do you think? Because I fucking despise you. I've been trying to figure out how I wanted to end things, but they just fell apart on their own. Fates are smiling down upon me, I guess. Nonsense. She was waiting for me until the day of the joining ceremony. I was going to see her on that day. You knew the ceremony had been postponed. You get for putting it all in my hands, for thinking I'm the only one on your side. You think I'd tell her like a good little maid? Not a chance in hell. I mean, talk about some fantastic news. You both picked the same day, but you got the dates different. Absolutely perfect. Marie, is that how you've always felt? How long have you held this grudge against me? How long? How long? How goddamn dense can you be? Must be nice living in your little fantasy world, Jacopo. This is the next Capo Familia. Oh my god, my side. You've always hated me. At the very least. I fucking loathe you since the minute we had our reunion. First, I did try to convince myself you had your reason. Didn't make it feel any less unfair then. You had all your money, all your power, and everything else you stole from me. And you go and get hitched to this pretty little lady. Don't try to act like you're the victim here. All on you. You have any idea how I felt? Fallen from grace, made your maid, having to suck up to you. You have any idea how infuriating that is? Did you think I didn't know anything? Did you think I didn't suspect anything? If you did, you got your head way up in the clouds. You're motivated by your grudge against my family, the Berzottis? Precisely, that's exactly it. Your father wanted so badly to be Capo Familia, you wanted so badly to be in power. That he murdered my dad and grandpa? They say it was a carriage accident, but the ground was all torn to hell where it happened. You want to tell me what kind of carriage accident causes it to explode? Because my dad and grandpa died, your dad took over as Capo Familia. The balance of power in the factions began to change. My family, anyone with ties to the Campanellas, was either exterminated or exiled. Berzottis took control of the city. My grandpa's Cosca became your Cosca. No one in their right mind would be naive enough to think the Berzottis didn't have a hand in that. A great Campanella family, bitten by the pet dog. If the dog had rabies, and as a result in time, that lush historic land will wither away and die. My dad and grandpa, buried in that dried up earth, are screaming in their graves even now. You can't prove me wrong, can you, Jacopo? And now, first in line to be the next Capo Familia is you, his son. Naturally. Feels pretty good, doesn't it? Why didn't we have this guy killed instead? Wouldn't this be way better? Anyway, slaughtering my family, leaving us to wallow in the mud. Will you live here like a fucking king? This is what your family did. I don't have a home to go back to anymore. No house, no prestige, nothing left. And that's outrageous. Campanella is supposed to run that city. But instead, Berzotti curs are crawling over it like some kind of infestation. I'm a legitimate Campanella, but I'm stuck being your maid. Your goddamn maid. If I hadn't been born a woman, I could have become the Capo Familia after my dad and grandpa died. Because I'm a woman, I couldn't retaliate. I just had to sit on my hands and watch this tragedy unfold. Absolutely miserable. I had to make you suffer as well. I had to make you I had to make you twice as miserable as I was. But no reason to hate anyone but me. Why did you make her a part of this? You have some grudge against her too? I actually really liked the madame. Sweet, pretty, kind-hearted, timid, and fragile. Trusted every word I said. A splendid little toy. You thought of her as your toy? I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Jacopo thinks of her the same way. He's just offended because someone else said it out loud. Now, can you really call me over that? Can't. You have no right. You ever cared one bit about anyone else? They're all footstools to you. A little too late to find yourself a sense of morality. Whole thing would have been avoided if you just had a single conversation. But instead, the both of you come crawling to me saying, "You're my only ally, Maria. How dense can you be?" Of course, I thought you were my ally. I trusted you, as I'm sure she did too. You should get your eyes examined because you can't see a damn thing. It was beautiful. The way you two blindly trusted me, creating your own misunderstandings, causing your own pain, and you could never seem to get on the same page. You can all fall apart. Is that everything? The extent of your grudge and all you did? Yeah, yep. That's everything. All that's left is for me to kill you. Hold still now. I wouldn't want to miss. Maria, does our past mean nothing to you? That oath just an empty promise? How could it when you remember so clearly? I'll explain for our little romantic boy. Bad grown-ups take advantage of good memories. Time I've returned this to you, Jacopo. The cartridge you gave me packed with your disgusting sentimentality. Killing you at the end, though. All you Berzati curs. I'll send every last one of you straight to hell. My revenge has just begun. Is she actually gonna kill him, though? I feel like it'd be really dumb shit. But they might just randomly cut it off here and we don't know. Man, wouldn't have been a suitable capo familia. You should have aimed between my eyes, Maria. Jacopo. See? I told you he wasn't even dead. What? Why is she so incompetent? I mean, I've said, I didn't think she was doing that well because she was just accelerating things that would have naturally happened anyway. And she can't even kill someone properly. Oh, at least he's roasting her too. In a panic, I pulled the trigger and from the barrel, a bullet went flying, quite literally between her eyes. Would anyone ever believe if I said this wasn't how I wanted things to turn out? Rain just keeps coming. Wonder if we'll be able to go home today. This is basically the same as the previous story. It's not really any different. Hey, Jacobino. Say something, you useless wuss. Or you little wuss. What? You give me a headache. The lighting's way louder than me. You jumped, Jacobino. Such a baby. Jump too. Stop calling me. Be scared. Don't cry. I'm not crying. Your eyes are damp too. I'm not crying. Not at all. One bit. There's no end to this rain, is there? Fine, if it doesn't stop. There's nothing at home for me. You don't want to go home? Parents don't get along. Had nothing to do with it. Got it good. Everyone loves your grandpa. Whenever anyone needs something, they come to him. Now there's a great man. How did my grandpa become a part of this? Oh, no reason. Not everyone likes him. He just gets just as much hate as love. Not really a model citizen. Mostly just shrewd. Are you jealous? I'm not. My old man is, though. Is he now? Well, your dad's got his good points, too, I think. I don't know, he seems the kind of man who can accomplish big things. He seems a lot stricter than my grandpa. Come on, I don't get you. What are you clamming up for? No reason. Don't want to go home, then? How about we go somewhere far away from here? Once it stops raining, let's get out of here. Head up to the capital, find some work. Can make it work, the two of us. We'll bring Nero, of course. We could. It'd be so nice. Break free of the city, its outdated traditions. Head somewhere bigger, more forward-thinking. If only it were possible. Alright, Maria. I know you were just joking. Couldn't have been able to find work anyway. If the two of us ran off, we'd be starving in a month. You'd have to be blind not to see that. Right. Let's go home once the rain lets up. It does. Until then, hey, let's sing. Louder than the lightning. Maybe then you'll stop crying, Jacopino. I'm not crying. Oh. Yeah, let's sing. La 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 lero, la la lero, la lero. La. Well, we'll take that as text. That wasn't meant to be vocalized. Maria. I may not put it into words, but I trust you understand that I consider you a dear friend. Listen to me, Jacopo. My actions were justified. I did what I did for the betterment of the city and this land. Campanellas are too conservative. Under their control, this country will atrophy. Progress will continue to lose steam. If we don't push forward, we'll fall further and further behind. He's an accelerationist, so he kills people for... I know he's actually a mob boss, but it's kind of funny the way he's pitching acceleration as a good reason to kill a mountain of people. Before long, you'll be made the next Capo Familia. Until that day, you'll cross over to the new world. Like, if we ignore the part where he's a mob boss, his argument is pretty cringe. Like, even the bare minimum is still cringe. Until that day, you will cross over into the new world and establish the coast there. Unify us, bolster us, make us strong. I'll handle things back here. I won't let the Campanellas try and strike back. Want Maria to? Dangerous to keep a Campanella close by. He has to be taken care of. You insist, but do not let your guard down. Frail is a constant companion in this world. Giving you my revolver. Put on you at all times. Glory everlasting upon our blood and upon this earth. The best I can give you is my job as a maid. If I show you any more obviously preferential treatment, bears eyes are liable to power, respect, and enough authority not to take order from anyone. Thought if I could attain all of that, I'd be able to give you your freedom, and her as well. I wanted to give you both comfortable lives, but none of that got through to either. Well, he got out of this pretty easily. Everything's slipping through my fingers. Her love, my friendship with Maria. Both their smiles. Master. What's that sound? So much blood. Maria? How about this time? Getting stuck, witnessing the worst things. What? Call a doctor. Someone with tight lips. Don't call the police. Don't make a scene, got it? So, go on. Yes, sir. Right, not everything slipped from my grasp. My money and influence are all that's left. He is a multi-bajillionaire in the 19th. He's a multi-bajillionaire mafioso in the 20th century. Or not 20th, 19th century. He is set, dude. That is what you wanted, though, is it not? Thought money and power, no? Aren't you going to go? Yes, I will. But first, I'd like to ask you something. What do you intend to do from here? What am I going to do? Exactly the same as before. But one thing for me to do. Will you eventually find solace in your riches? The way I see it, money and power can be your ally, but they can become your enemy in the blink of an eye. If you don't put them into words, your feelings will never make it through to anyone. For unlike money, humans are not measurable by their appearance. He failed to communicate to anyone what he held within his breast. He was chained down by his place in society, his pride, his relationships, and his own heart. At some point, he found himself in a position where he was no longer able to speak his mind. For enough time, he likely forgot how to be genuine at all. Or perhaps someone like him simply would not, even if they knew how. In any event, there are many things in this world that cannot be communicated without being put into words. How sad that his tale should end without him expressing how he truly felt. How hard it must have been to never clear up his misunderstandings. After Jacopo's confrontation with Mario, the Pacific Railroad was completed as scheduled. Celebratory cheers shook the new world as the last spike was driven into the rails. Jacopo, however, could not even manage a smile listening to the telegraph. I'm sure you can take a guess as to why. The people with whom you wish to share that moment were not there. Why not summon all of your, the besties that you were obviously having for your big-ass party? Shortly following her death, Jacopo held a private funeral for Maria. Then he commenced a search for the white-haired girl, but he did not do so alone. He hired others to help, did everything in his power to find her, tirelessly searching for many, many years. However, he was never able to locate her, and he spent the remainder of his life alone. Money, power, renown, and servants. The world around him was quite lively. But solitude was his only companion. He waited and waited for the white-haired girl to return. The years crawled by, and with no family or loved ones at his side to care for him in old age, he died alone. He died alone. You mean the poor multi-millionaire? You know what? No. The poor guy with billions of dollars. Damn, his only being a multi-millionaire must be rough. Or sorry, multi-billionaire. We don't know how much the rich the mob are. They're crazy rich. Yeah, poor guy. Poor Bezos dying surrounded by like a billion personal servants. Must be rough, guys. I don't even know where I'm supposed to have sympathy for that guy, but okay. Good stuff. The door before you slowly drew shut. You could no longer hear the raucous sounds of men from within the den. A faint scent of cigarette smoke, however, lingered in the air. Staring vaguely at the closed door, you noticed something was amiss. The maid who'd been holding your hand was no longer at your side. You glanced around, but she was no. Down the corridor stretched only darkness. Not having anticipated this, you were unsure how to react. What matter? You lost, or you just taken the sights? A voice called out to you, but it was not the maid's voice. Caught off guard, you spun around confused in search of the source. Where are you looking? Over here, yeah, there you go. A little more to the left. Following the voice's instructions, you found yourself facing a wall. You feel like you've just seen a ghost. Come now, don't turn away. Got it? I'm the one talking to you. The voice was coming from within the painting. You'd passed by this wall on your way to the third door. A magnificent landscape painting had been hanging there. Now the canvas was a deep shade of black, as if it had been dipped into a vat of ink. It's been a while since I talked to anyone, so tell me, you can hear me all right, can't you? Splendid. Been so long since I had a conversation. I was afraid I might have forgotten how to talk. Tell me, who might you be? You don't know? Isn't that quite the pickle? How about we have a little chat then? You got yourself turned around and aren't sure where to go, right? I'll be happy to tell you anything I can, just ask away. Painting sounded rather high-spirited. Perhaps he was simply excited to have the opportunity to speak with someone. He decided you'd ask him a few questions. Alright, right click. It's not right click to... Who are you? Me, as you can see, I'm a painting. Why did I end up as a painting? Hard to say. Maybe I was reborn as a painting because I used to really like art? There are things I painted I wish I hadn't. Maybe that regret's what turned me into this. Hopefully I get the chance to apologize to him about that. You, no point getting any more detail than that. Wouldn't mean anything to you, so enough about me. Right, you know nothing about yourself. Shame that. Alright, a favor for you since you can't tell me about yourself. If you run into him, could you tell him I really regret what I did? I know I should tell him myself, but well, as you can see, I'm stuck here. Can't move an inch, gotta ask for help. Feel terrible about painting that picture. Is it... Yeah, the deadline's way past that one, but that's what makes it regret, right? Can't take it back? Is supposedly the painter from the first story? By the time I'd realized it was too late, he was already dead. He's long since passed away. Are you supposed to give a dead fellow a message? Well, for all you know, dead could be wandering these halls too. So please, if you come across him, tell me I said that. I didn't mean any harm with that painting. Maybe you are him? What is this place? Ooh, talk about some hard-hitting questions. Probably not one who'll be able to answer that for you. I don't have a good, deep connection with this mansion, you see. I swear, I got nothing to gain from lying, do I? No. My regrets that have turned me into this. I wasn't summoned here by no one. There is one thing I can tell you. This place summons people. Lots of people. People with ties to something that happened long, long ago. No one knows anything that happened. I didn't know either. Till she told me. I haven't the foggiest how much of it's true or not. Are you here because you were summoned by her? Or did you come here of your own will to find someone? You came here of your own volition and you weren't summoned by her, then perhaps you'll be the one who can break the curse? Who's the maid? Might as well ask her that directly, but she won't say till you've regained your old self. See, well, in that case, if you want to know, you gotta know what you gotta do. It's entirely up to you whether you make an ally or enemy out of her. No guarantee she's even right in the head. You never know. Maybe you're not the only one who hasn't found themselves. Who am I? Just because you don't know who you are doesn't mean you can go around asking other people. I'm not a person, you say? Well, you're right, but I'm not going to know anything about you can't tell me yourself. I mean, from where I'm standing, you look almost like a walking cloud of shadow. Can't even tell what you look like. Man, the maid who was with you before, did she call you master? The question is, which era's master are you? How many doors have you been through? 3? Of those, did any of them bring anything back? Oh, it's not an easy thing recovering yourself. Maybe you weren't behind any of those other 3 doors. That's gotta be it. That was your first time witnessing those tragedies. Yours is another door. So tell me, how did you feel looking behind those doors? Was it frightening, saddening, heart-wrenching? Alright. Let me tell you something. You're able to bear them because they weren't your tragedies. The next door you open is yours. Will you be able to bear it? Will you be able to accept your own tragedy? It's one thing, seeing others suffering but your own. You have to face emotions you wanted to keep buried, secrets you wanted to keep hidden away, pain you wanted to forget. You think you'll be able to accept them as your own? If you can't, well, I wouldn't blame you. I wouldn't accuse you of running. Choose not to reclaim your old self. Nothing wrong with erasing your memory of something. It was so bad you didn't want to face it in the first place. Let it be written as someone else's story. It'll make a whole lot easier on you. Or perhaps that goes for everything. You won't know till you see it, right? Well, that's true enough. Once you do, there might not be any turning back. Or do you mean to reclaim your old self no matter the cost? If you do, if you're sincerely prepared to do that, worry of the tale that comes next. Any tragedy that seems too beautiful to be real. Precisely that. Fabrication. Turns out you're someone from behind the next door. Perhaps you're my... I haven't talked that much in a long time. Feels great. Now that I've got that out of my system, I should be able to get some sleep. You're probably still wandering in the dark now. I really hope you find the outcome you want. I mean it. You can either reclaim your old self or toss it aside. The choice is yours either way. Since it looks like your escort's not showing up, what do you plan to do next? How about taking a look around the place since you got a little free time? Could be you come across things you wouldn't with her around. Right, if you're gonna go exploring, I got the perfect thing. Stick your hand into the canvas, would you? The painting was wrapped in impenetrable darkness. Perfect, all-consuming void. The man had told you to put your hand into it. You. I keep doing that. I guess we'll reach to the frame, sure. Extend your hand to the painting. The moment your fingertips brush the surface, it swallows your hand up to the wrist. Ah, no, not there. That tickles a little to the right, the man of the painting had instructed. As he does, you grope around the inside of the darkness. Before long, you felt something hard at your fingertips. Clenching the object, you withdrew your hand, and your arm was still intact. Thread your fingers in there, you found a key. Tickled. With that key, you can access the master bedroom. A while back, she tossed it in. Damn litter bug. Anyway, it ain't mine. Don't worry about giving it back. However, I bet there's something worth seeing in there. Felt the need to toss the key. Alright, well, getting some sleep. You take care. You happen to learn my name. Come pay me another visit. To the fancy store. Having said that, the painting fell quiet. In your hand lay a small key, and it seemed rather antiquated and vaguely familiar. Silence once again drew over the corridor. Stood there all alone, no sight of the maid. After considering it for a few moments, you decide to explore the mansion on your own. Places to go. Isolation. Right. And I think this is the perfect place to wrap it up for the night.